mention anything.
What is that?
Jacob, mute your fucking mic. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We're live. We picked the perfect time to go. I think it's Christian. I don't know.
I
Somebody's
heard
mic,
Jacob
isn't it?
fine, so it might be mine. It might be
Okay.
Because that
I heard a lot of
crackling
noise.
noise was after I muted.
Yeah, I heard
Hey,
Jacob fine.
we're
So
live.
is it me?
Wait, we already got a thumbs up on my. Hey, can I? This is March, boys. This is March. This is March, motherfuckers. All right, we're gonna talk about the first round tonight. We got a lot to talk about. People are joining in. We're not even a minute in. We got 4 people tuning in. Thank you.
Shout out.
Thank you, everybody watching.
Hey,
Make sure. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's not been the greatest first round, but there's been some great moments this week.
Definitely.
Like
Yes, I saw a wedgie in person yesterday. I got to see a
Hey,
wedgie.
Didn't someone on Louisville fan throw a bottle on the court?
Yeah.
I saw
happened
that
too.
later. I saw that.
Hey,
I thought I saw a
remember that
couple of
real quick.
Louisville fans there.
I have not met a lot of Louisville fans in person, but after yesterday, I hate Louisville. That
Bro,
was the most obnoxious. That was the most obnoxious bitch fucking fan base I've ever heard in my life. Those fucking people, dude, they were down by fucking 20. They're getting their fucking ass kicked they're getting their fucking teeth knocked in their fucking mouth. And they're down by 20. And every time it's like, what the fuck, ref? What the fuck?
I saw them boo an obvious call on Thursday yesterday.
They're down by fucking 20, and Pat Kelsey got teed up, and they threw a fucking bottle on the floor.
Yeah.
That's my impression of Louisville fans from just like the Jeff Brom, Willie Woney go to in football.
So he'll back me up. We were there.
Yeah.
So after the game, like the Louisville fans, they're fucking mad. They lost, and they're like, "Oh yeah, these Auburn motherfuckers. They lost 4 of their last 5 games," which is inaccurate, but we'll go with it. Yeah, they lost 4 of the last 5 games. Let's watch them lose. And then I looked at him, and I was like, "All right, let's move down to the lower seats. All the losers are leaving." And then I was like, "You can't spell Louisville without L."
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, it looked sparse in the seating yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
In the arena.
Yeah. I will give Louisville fans credit. They did pack that place out, but they still fucking lost. So,
because when I went to Indy last year, I could not. I wouldn't have been able to do that because the lower bowl was entirely full.
That first game yesterday, it was red. It was all red. Yeah. Let me plug this back.
Yeah, which that was actually my first loss of the bracket. Surprisingly, out of the whole tournament, that was my first loss. Which was also the first game. But
I'm sure
that was me last year
because we did the show on Sunday. Like I picked Louisville on the show on Sunday. I switched to Creighton in my bracket. By the way, I need to pick on Matt real quick. Like, don't get too mad at me, but Matt does so many brackets, and he managed in our bracket pool for money to just pick his worst bracket.
I did see that.
Bro,
I'm just gonna allow it to stay. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Matt. I'll tell you what happened. I was second last night, and today I dropped down to 18th. Like,
at least you beat Matt.
I'm another one here, and I'm like, you know what? I guess I deserve this for not checking which one I put in there.
Yeah, did you intentionally pick that one, or was it just like whatever?
So I don't know. I made a few, and then like one of my friends who just absolutely despises it. I told him like, yeah, like I picked Montana to beat Wisconsin because I think BYU or VCU will beat Wisconsin anyway. So why not just have some fun here and pick Montana? And
I picked Montana
Yeah, he was just
See,
like, you fucking idiot. How
I
could
did
you?"
that.
Yeah.
I did that with several teams that I don't think are going to go very far. I just kind of picked the upset.
Matt's bracket was, by the way, like I could see it was Matt Earhart 9.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It wasn't like
Yeah.
number 3 or number 4. It was number
Yeah.
9.
Whoops. Yeah, got that 9th one in there where I'm thinking something crazy is gonna happen. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
won
I
our
saw
poll. You won our poll last year, by the way, because I scrolled
Yes.
back on my Venmo because I
Yeah.
was curious. I was like, who won this thing last year? It was you last year.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Which-
this
it's
is
funny 'cause
yeah.
normally the person that knows the most, in my experience, like does the worst.
Yeah, it's always
yeah, Hunter Sloan is first in our bracket. Like,
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh.
There you go. Shout out Hunter.
There-
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
In
happy
my
birthday,
friend
Hunter.
pool-
Good on you. But yeah.
Shout out Calvert County.
Gracious,
Yes.
yeah.
there's a guy that like tries to troll me constantly, and he always does freaking good in the dang bracket. Like he always picks UT to win it all, just because he's I don't know. He's like one of the Tennessee casual people, but
Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out real
Always
quick to our
freaking-
7 people watching. But
Hey, shout out
Field of
to them.
68, we love those guys. Obviously, we had Rob on a little while ago. They have Dad Waters, one of their big sponsors. Like they've been doing their streams all week with the Dad Water cans. We couldn't find Dad Water, but I went to a liquor store and I was like, "You guys have Dad Water?" And they were like, "No, but we have Mom Water." So we're drinking Mom
enough.
Water. here.
Mom Water.
It's the same company. So
Yeah. LB from Liquor Room might be one of the 7 people watching this because I told him I would talk to him after. But he was like, "You guys went 3 hours your last one, so I won't be talking to you until like 1." Like,
I
At the
doubt we'll be.
earliest.
Yeah.
This
I
one
doubt
won't
we'll
go
be
that
3
long.
hours.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jake,
He's
you
like,
don't
yeah,
have
he
ball. You
makes
gotta
a good
respond
point,
to this.
yeah.
You don't have ball. You're
Oh.
not a ball knower.
He keeps trying to get me with that one because he's in my friend pool. I invite you to it, Travis. I should invite everyone in here, but Travis and Cody joined. But for some reason, he had Noah. He has he had one of the highest brackets. He still has like a 98%. I think last time I checked.
I mean, it's been like, and everybody said this coming in. It's kind of like one of the stories everybody was talking about coming in here. Is people were like, "Yeah, it's going to be a pretty chalky tournament," and it really has.
Yeah.
Like McNeese beating Clemson was probably the biggest upset we've seen thus far, and that was a 12 over a 5. So
Yeah.
So like there hasn't been like, we keep
Michigan
getting
beating
bumped
San
ups.
Diego. That was an upset.
I'd say that
Was it?
to be
Michigan
honest.
was -2.5. So
No, I don't know. I still can't believe
Michigan
Michigan's
covered.
playing. Yeah,
I
can't
had
believe
They
Michigan's
keep
playing.
getting they keep getting away with BS.
Yeah.
Is what they keep getting away with BS wins. They need someone to just dump truck them by 30 or whatever.
San Diego was Jesse Pinkman yesterday. They can't keep getting away with that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
But I had Michigan -2.5, so I was rooting for the Wolverines last night.
And the Michigan didn't even win because of their big man play. They just won because they got like
Wow,
20%
Golden played fucking out of his mind yesterday. So, hey, you can go fuck yourself. I'll go ahead and block you off these comments, you fucking piece of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so get the fuck out of our stream, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Bitch. Like,
There we go.
No,
I ain't
That's
putting
what I
up with
need.
this shit tonight. It's fucking March, baby.
Let's go.
I don't
It's
have
March,
time.
baby. Let's go, Matt.
I mean-
Let's go, Matt.
I mean, I just need to say, like, fuck, we're gonna start talking about games, and since he said that, like, if you read Twitter, you would think Auburn lost yesterday. We won the game by fucking 20, by the way. But, like,
Well,
Hey.
Juve counts that as a loss, so just keep that in mind. Yeah.
winning.
In two
No,
change.
Congrats
No.
to Alabama State for moving on and spread madness.
Hey.
Alabama State pulled the 16
Travis.
over 1 in the against the spread madness. So congrats to the Hornets. They will be moving on to the sweep
Travis,
to the round of 30.
This is some good news for you. Your game against Alabama State reminded me so much of Purdue's game against Grambling State last year. Like they hung around in the first half, and then like at the end of the first half, Purdue pulled away against Grambling State, and then the second half just rolled over them. took care of the game. That's
I
what
I
Auburn
was just
did.
reading Twitter, and I was like, did I see this game right? Did Auburn lose? Like, did I miss something? Like, dude, I mean, like, Auburn won by 20, and everybody's just like, what the? Auburn fucking sucks, man. Like I was like, did I miss something? Like, we won by 20? Is that not good enough? Like,
I do have to say this is a good segue to just start the week. We'll start out with the playoff or play-in games because there was a great game on Tuesday night. One great game and one atrocious game. But yeah, we'll start off.
There
off
was
there.
a good game in the playing round.
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah.
Alabama State versus St. Francis.
Oh yeah.
At the last play,
bro. That game was back and forth the whole way.
It was a good game.
Congrats to the Hornets. That's my home school, right down the street for me. That win, I'm sure, is going to be big for them. But yeah, let me pull up the final shot there. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me do it because it's worthy.
It was a great shot. It was a good shot.
But Auburn won. Auburn won
play
yesterday, right? I'm not missing something. Auburn did win the game yesterday.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure because I read Twitter and I wasn't quite sure because all I read was how bad Auburn was.
You read Juke in Liquor Room, yes, and he is convinced.
I believe it was by 20 points, like I said.
Yes.
So this guy too. I mean, guys,
shut up, dude.
Have your moment.
All right. To defend myself, my thought process was in the first half, at times, the effort looked like it was not there at points. We were just getting out-rebounded at times. Our defensive effort wasn't there at points. And what frustrated me about that was we lost to Yale last year, right? So you would think coming into this, they would be like, all right, we got to be on our stuff. Like, we can't be just going through the motions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what bothered me, like, in the first half. Like, second half, it was much better effort-wise. First half, I was just like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, you had a humiliating loss last year in the first round, and this is how we come out in the first half, just flat. Like, that's what bothered me more than anything.
I'm just going to say it, like, and he's going to get mad at me, but he looked at me at one point in the first half. It's like, we're going to lose this game. I was like, relax.
Dude, I was having
dude, I relate to you. I relate to y'all. I was saying it before. I relate to y'all so much.
Dude, I was having PTSD of last year, okay?
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
That's how I felt at the Grambling State game. Like, Grambling hung around for a little bit, and I was like,
Christian, did you just call God? Is that what that was? Or,
like, oh, no. I was
I thought you called God.
My answer later, but.
Yeah, this is Bryant is currently playing one of the worst second halves in NCAA Tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable.
They're being outscored 52-32.
Jacob, he pulled up the Alabama State. Congrats to the Hornets who lost by 20 yesterday, by the way. But
this is a terrible play. Like,
it's just. It's one of those March moments. You know?
It's just a little bit. You're good.
But something you just gotta love.
Seconds left, and here we go. This is where dreams are made. Call for it all. Simpson, home run play, the deflection. Oh!
Yes, sir.
Good recovery.
That's where March is made.
Topic real quick. What was worse defense? St. Francis there or the Bears against the Redskins? What was worse defense?
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'm getting off. Y'all have a good night. I'm done. Enjoy the stream.
I will say the play before St. Francis, they fumbled so hard. They dribbled off their leg out of bounds on a wide open bucket, pretty much, and they threw it out of bounds off their own leg to lead to that.
They literally just hucked it deep for no reason, and it just luckily bounced.
It just worked out.
That ball could have gone out of bounds.
They did the press conference with the Alabama State's coach. They're like, "Have you done that before?" And he's like, "No."
Bro, we haven't even practiced it before.
Bro, shout out Tony Madlock, Alabama State's head coach.
Memphis
he's
guy,
chill dude. Just
he was one of Penny's guys at Memphis.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah.
I know the Grambling State coach last year. I thought he was chill like that too. So
All right, so I'll try to keep the show in chronological order more, but we do need to get to the subject. I put it in the title, so we'll get to it. Matt, you're Calipari's fucking biggest dick rider, and you deserve this moment.
I am not Seth. I am not Seth Greenberg levels.
Okay, yeah, you're right behind Seth, but
I have the guys back.
You're in line with Seth. You're second behind Seth, but
Fair.
you deserve this chance. Like, I give you shit, but honestly, like, you do deserve this moment to beat Bill Self in the first round of March Madness. You do deserve this moment to give John Calipari his flowers. As much you guys know, I mean, we did this show last year after the first round last year, and I had a whole 10-minute segment where I shit on Calipari for losing to Oakland. So a year later, Matt, like, you had to sit through that then. So now you deserve your moment to give Cal his flowers for that win against Kansas. But
let's just call it for what it is. That moment last year against Oakland, very deserved, inexcusable loss across the board. This year, Cal has rallied the troops, got him into the tournament without a Duthiero yesterday and a Visic. Basically, they get Boogie Flam back, who actually turned out to be a pretty big help for them on defense. But yeah, proud of the Hogs. Got, Jonas Adu, who was one of their prized, portal guys from Tennessee. Did not do anything the entire regular season. Led him in scoring yesterday.
Janelle Davis hit the big shot.
Yes.
Oh, that was a massive shot there.
Nelly Davis hit the big three.
When did we start calling him Nelly instead of Janelle, by the way?
I know he's been going by Nelly apparently for halfway through the season. So it's apparently
does he speak country grammar? I guess he's Nelly now.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, he's no Nelly Jr. Joseph, but yeah. Yeah, so, great win for the Hogs, knocking out preseason number 1. That's what the PR firm will probably say.
Of Greenberg.
Yes. That has significantly more. Kansas is bad. They are to mercy kill of Hunter Dickinson and that era of Kansas basketball coming to a close. But, all things considered, big time win for Cal. I think that's a success for them to advance in the round of 32 of the NCAA tournament. Going, given the expectations.
Let's just go out on a limb here real quick and say, the game hasn't happened yet, but let's just say St. John's beats Arkansas by 40 tomorrow. What is this Arkansas season viewed as if that is the outcome?
If they lose by 40, I think that will be viewed a little harsher.
Just in general, if Arkansas goes down tomorrow, how everything has gone this season, if they bow out to St. John's in the round of 32, do we view this first season for Cal at Arkansas as a success, or?
I don't view it as a failure, but I definitely don't think it was a huge success either. So I would say it's probably somewhere in the middle, and whether it depends on what he's going to be judged by. So if he's judged solely on his tournament success, they were ranked in the preseason. I think coming into the season, a lot of Arkansas fans, given the talent of the roster, probably would have set Sweet 16 as where they wanted to be. So round of 32 would probably be a bit of a disappointment. Now, given what the roster has been through the entire season, I would say that they are. I would say they're somewhat satisfied with round of 32, and that would probably be okay. But yeah, St. John's is a team that they could probably beat. So I would not be surprised if Arkansas beat them. I will pick Arkansas to beat them right now, and I will call it now.
Over the Johnnies?
Arkansas is beating St. John's. Turn the camera on.
Oh, okay.
Arkansas is beating St. John's.
Put that.
Yes.
Clip
So
that.
Clip it.
prepare
Please clip
yourselves.
it.
Yeah.
Clip it right there. You
So-
heard it here.
Is
No,
that
Very
a serious prediction, or is that your homer?
We are
prediction?
going
Like,
to say that Arkansas beats St. John's 70-68.
Wow. You heard it
so
here
that's
first.
your honest prediction.
You heard it
That's
here
not
That's my
a
honest
homer
prediction.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm here for it. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
here
have
for
the
it.
floor, Matt. You, like I said, you sat through me shitting on Cal after Oakland last year, so like, I will give you your moment.
Yeah.
I will say this is the game last night, the Arkansas-Kansas game. It went exactly as how I predicted it. I figured Arkansas was playing their best ball of the season right there at the end, and Kansas was not playing their best ball of the season.
Right.
I don't think Kansas has
Yeah.
ever played good ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This season.
I kind of got worried for a little bit at right before that end run by Arkansas. Kansas got up by a decent margin. And it seemed like the buckets had stopped falling for Arkansas. But I had that game scattered out. Thankfully, it's the end of Hunter Dickinson's college basketball career.
Yeah, nah.
Going to Guangdong Tigers.
Yeah, he'll be great
Tigers.
for the Guangdong Tigers. Like
He will
Hunter
be.
Dickinson will
Shaq.
kill it.
A good
there.
role
Who he
player.
play
A good role
for?
player over there.
Yeah, no. Yeah. As much as I hate Cal, I'm very happy to see Hunter Dickinson just go out sad.
Hey,
And like on the same Saturday that Will Wade has just like completely solidified his revitalization for himself. Just like he was obviously like Bill Self should have been part of the scheme, but they had enough money in the PR firm there at Kansas to keep him out of it. And Will Wade, I guess at LSU, they didn't feel like ponying up the money to keep him out of the scheme. So Will Wade was just the scapegoat. Will Wade and Sean Miller were basically just like Arizona and LSU didn't feel like putting up the money to keep them out of the scheme, so they were the scapegoats of that whole thing. But the fact that Coach K and Bill Self and like all those guys were kept out of the scheme, and like we just pinned it all on Will Wade and Sean Miller. Well, both of those guys got wins this week, and
Right.
Coach K is an old man now, and Sean Miller got a win this week, and Will Wade got a win this week, and fucking Bill Self lost this week. So yeah, that's how I feel. Like,
Yeah.
I will say another thing. I 100% like John Calipari more at Arkansas than I did at Kentucky.
I do too already.
I like him.
do
I like
too.
him in that. I think he slays in that the red suit.
Yeah, I
He's
always
great.
He
hated
just looks
him
like
at
a
Kentucky.
thug. Like he just looks like a thug.
Yeah,
Coach
I was
Cal
hated
is
him at
just
Kentucky, so
Co-
I like
Coach-
him at Arkansas.
Cal is just great at pretending to be an underdog now. He gets to pretend to be.
Oh,
that
it's
now.
perfect for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is probably about
lose by
Hunter
20.
Dickinson, by the way. He was just dicking around in his last game. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Like,
He was.
He was dicking in his son,
What?
Hunter Dickinson.
That's like a John Rothstein right there. Hunter Dickinson just dicking
Stop,
in the
don't say
sun.
it again.
Hey, no, someone at a Purdue game had Dick in
Chris had to
son
go off camera.
a sign at the game. The last time he was at Michigan, I think.
It's not very Christian, Jacob.
Purdue.
I
Blew
mean,
him out at Michigan.
it's how do we feel about Kansas and Bill Self? Like, this is 2 straight years now. They've just had the most underwhelming possible outcomes of their season. Like, is it too irrational to say Bill Self is washed, or like how do we feel?
He is not washed. He won a national championship 3 years ago, and they just need to figure out. They kind of need an identity change, or they have a big picture issue of how they identify talent and who they bring into their program, specifically through the portal. It just has not worked. So when they won the national championship, they got Remy Martin from Arizona State, and he played a big role for them in that Final Four and championship game especially. He was great. But yeah, they have not done a very good job of identifying the right players to build a program around, and it has hurt them greatly. There's not enough shooting there. They cannot really be creative offensively or dangerous in any way with the talent they have there now. It's basically
Sorry, if I hear Lady Gaga one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Let me turn this fucking. Go ahead. Let me turn
If I have
this
to,
fucking.
Yeah,
This
so it's a tough uphill climb, but yeah, Kansas has the resources, and all it takes for them is just a good recruiting class and good portal class, and they're
So do they
shouldn't
hire
have
a
an issue.
GM after this year? Is that the solution? Or
Well, I don't think they have a choice. I think that's the way things are going now, and with a coach like Bill Self, it's like he should just be in charge of coaching basketball, doing what he does best, and they should find someone to handle the basketball operations side
I
of
mean,
things.
they can bring Joel Embiid in. He doesn't play much more basketball anymore. So
No, he's you want to talk about washed? Yeah, you can.
who's more washed, Joel Embiid or Bill Self?
Or Brisself. Probably Joel. I would say Joel, right?
no.
Yes.
Thing about
I'm
Bill
having a
Self,
fucking night.
Fuck
Like-
yeah, Travis. Let's go, Travis.
like you said, Matt, that's the dangers of the portal era. If you pay the wrong guys just because of their name or what their stars are on three or whatever, if you just pay players, it's not a good strategy to build your team around. You got to have your central core already built, through high school recruiting, have a good coaching philosophy, and then you supplement, so.
Oh yeah. I'm being criticized for drinking the mom waters here, but shout out to mom water.
So,
Hey, our buddy Rob, I doubt I'm drinking a Karen here. Shout out to Field 68. By the way, they have been killing. Have you guys tuned in? Like they just stream all fucking day. Like
Yes.
like
24/7.
What's it? Okay, like this is another thing. Hey Cooper. Cooper was here with us yesterday, by the way. Tennessee guy.
Sounds
I
like
do
Cooper
not
and
give a
Juke would
fuck.
be friends.
I do not give a fuck what any other team in the SEC does. I am an Auburn fan. I'm not an SEC fan. So people want to be like, "Oh, the SEC is fraudulent." I don't care. I don't care.
Travis
I
said
am an
you don't
Auburn
give a
fan.
fuck.
I do
Travis-
not give a fuck what the rest
Travis,
of the
that's
SEC
I'm the
does.
same way with the Big Ten. F everybody else. I don't give a shit about Tom Izzo or Michigan.
Where's your
Fuck all them.
conference pride?
Matt,
Screw
I was
them
going to say, Matt,
Do
I was
not
just saying
have
the same thing with the
none
Sun
of it.
Belt.
Zero.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, Matt. Did you have Big East pride when Marquette lost today? Like,
That's more of a football thing, I would assume, but I still there. I don't know.
I mean, Matt, you're an SEC guy. Listen, like this whole the SEC stuff, and obviously, this is Matt, your fucking buddy who is he's a great troll. I feel like
Juve is a fantastic troll. Juve is first team all troll.
Juve is a Skip Bayless level troll. I honestly it sounds like I'm shitting on him, but I'm honestly giving him credit. Like he could have been Skip Bayless if he was born in a different year.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has just been trying to hound me and him and your other buddy that went to Auburn about the SEC stuff, bro. I don't care. That the SEC. I honestly probably
the Big 12 is 6-1 thus far in the tournament. So take that for what you will.
That is great for the Big 12 fans. And for the SEC fans, I feel bad for them because they're But a good thing I am not an SEC fan. I'm an Auburn fan, and I am glad Auburn won by 20. So yeah, we're okay. we're okay. Tennessee's okay. Florida's okay. Texas A&M's okay. A lot of the other SEC teams are not. I don't give a fuck what the rest of the SEC does. Like,
You heard it here, folks, gentlemen. He doesn't give a fuck.
Christian, do you have some Sunbelt pride? Were you sad to see Troy
Yeah,
go
no.
down today?
Yeah, I was gonna say similar to how you were saying about your SEC pride. Once Troy took a tumble there, I think the whole Sunbelt Nation. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I think the whole Sunbelt Nation was distraught after that. I know Matt was texting me right after Troy had lost that game.
Bro,
I think Jacob was too. Jacob texted me as well, expressing his frustration.
Can we all agree the conference pride is just the worst fucking
it's
college
fucking stupid. It's fucking
especially
stupid.
nowadays where it's not like
fuck.
It's not geographical. It's not cultural to where we're all living. So it doesn't quite hold the value that it used to a couple years ago per se. But yeah,
if you're gonna go at me, the SEC sucks is the wrong angle, because I can certainly say I was not sad to see Georgia, who Matt knows I'm a big Georgia guy here. I love Georgia. Yeah, I was so sad to see Georgia get their fucking teeth knocked in.
You were very sad to see Mike White not call timeout until it was 27-3.
The goat, Mike White.
I was distraught. I mean, you know how much I love Georgia. I'm a big dogs guy here. Like,
yeah, you bark every chance you get. Yeah.
By the way, we need Cooper's in the comments. The Wofford Jacob will like they're big barkers too, and I was joining in on the barking because it was pretty funny yesterday.
Bro, okay, you're talking about conference pride. Everyone on SoCon Twitter was united against Wofford. We all fucking hate Wofford.
But you don't have conference pride.
Only when Furman's in, yeah, conference pride exists.
I mean, Furman, they actually play good basketball. Wofford does not play good basketball. So
yeah, Bob Ritchie has everyone's respect clearly, and well, Wofford does not.
Oh my god!
All right. Let's talk some basketball.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's get back to the first the other of the playing games. Let's talk about
the playing games, Jacob. Just fucking basketball. I don't give a fuck.
I just want to talk about San Diego State being.
They were terrible.
San Diego State. What was that, Jacob?
Yeah. Congratulations to them. All four of those teams are out. We're not going to talk about this.
No, I wanted to segue into UNC.
All right. Sure, let's talk about UNC Ole Miss. They got their fucking ass kicked.
You get their dick stomped.
Let Jacob have his moment. Let Matt's moment.
Go ahead, Jacob. Sorry.
All right, Jacob.
I was gonna say, what an awful performance by San Diego State. Like, continuing the Mountain West trend of just sucking.
Yeah. We're just terrible.
Bro, they just absolutely god awful.
And it's funny that you bring up
so bad.
Yeah, honestly, that was, and I was expecting honestly all the Mountain West teams to suck in the tournament.
Yeah, I believe in the Mountain West every year. I fall for it every year.
I was buying the hype.
Other than New Mexico won.
Or I mean, we want to streamline.
Colorado State. We got two Mountain West.
Nelly Junior Joseph
more than the ACC.
I thought there was no chance that. I thought there was no chance this loss to Colorado. But yeah, I thought there was no way Memphis was going to lose today. To Mount West.
Go ahead, Jacob. Let's talk about the playing games. American and Mount St. Mary's. What you think?
I was going to talk about one of the saddest moments of the week. Matt Rogers getting hurt.
Oh shit!
Jacob, you called out, buddy.
I did say that because I do not believe in UNC at all. So.
Hey, this is true, by the way. I say I hate conference pride. I do love the Mountain West.
Yeah, Travis is the Mountain West guy.
I am a big Mountain West fan. I will not
through and through though.
And I got embarrassed again. I fall for it every year. Like,
I mean, I love the Sun Belt. He loves the Mountain West. That's all right. That's all right.
yeah, I fucking got to see Utah State lose by 30 in person yesterday and just break my heart. Like,
Did you stay the whole game, by the way?
yeah, we did. We stayed
the whole entire
bitter end.
You stayed
Utah State, man.
We saw Utah State score off 47 points.
There you go. Okay.
Like,
they did. That was my biggest.
Yeah.
That was my biggest disappointment pick I made. The upset over UCLA, by far, worst pick I made.
I'm sorry, we're all over the place, but so
I was gonna say.
All right, first four.
Xavier versus Texas. That was a good game
great
too.
Game.
Xavier came back.
That really mattered. Xavier did great tonight.
No, I was going to segue in immediately afterwards. What's his face?
Gustavo Fring
got executed. Got blown up by Hector.
Fired for that.
Hector Salamanca.
They fucking all right. Xavier says
get ready to relearn Los Playos Hermanos, buddy. Yeah.
Running the Trey Johnson special with the worst offense in the NCAA.
Yeah. Very bad. And now Sean Miller's being rumored to go to Texas, ironically.
That's
Jeff Goodman's been on that for weeks.
Yeah. Jeff's been all over that, making sure everyone knows. Yeah.
He's like, last time they almost hired Sean Miller.
I think they almost did, though.
Shout out to Jeff. I love Jeff.
Love Jeff.
Jeff is a controversial figure. I love Jeff. He was a very nice human when I met him. I love Jeff.
There you go.
Jeff's great. Yeah.
But yeah, he wants to make sure everybody knows that he had Sean Miller to Texas first.
Yeah, I feel as if the best way to continue this is just to start picking games that are coming up, because everyone obviously watched, I would assume. So I need to know the confidence level in an Auburn cover here of 8.5 points against Creighton.
I don't give a fuck. Auburn's gonna win the game. Like
you think so? Comfortably?
I think we're gonna win the game.
By 8.5. What about you, William? Luke? What's your? Is this the same thing right there?
Auburn money line. I'll give that
pretty
one.
Comfortable, William?
Minus 400.
I'm pretty comfortable. Auburn's gonna win the game. I'm
cautiously optimistic.
I am too.
That's where I'll leave it at.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic that Auburn's gonna win the tournament. Me personally.
Right.
So
you're right.
Well, we're talking about Creighton. So
we'll talk about that game. Let's talk about that game.
Creighton,
the first game of the day.
It was a great game. It was definitely a great game.
That is a belt to ass signal, by the way.
First half started off close. Chucky Hepburn tried his best to keep Louisville in the game, but Louisville just didn't have the experience or depth to keep up, which is what I said going.
They're just not that good.
Yeah.
The ACC sucks.
I mean, I think we all knew it going into the tournament that this was going to be the case.
Did we all know it? Did you pick Creighton in your bracket?
No, I actually had Louisville.
Last place bracket had Louisville as well. So
I had Louisville winning personally.
Bro, I'm a big believer. I like Ryan Kalkbrenner, Steve or Ashworth.
Ashworth played out of his fucking
Jemiah
Neal. I always forget his name for some reason.
Jemiah Neal actually played really well.
Bro, he was going all
one of the best parts of March Madness, by the way, like all those guys were just like hanging out in the fucking stands after the game. We just saw them all like walking by us.
Really? I didn't even know
full
that.
uniform.
You just see full teams.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. That is awesome.
Yeah. We're like, oh shit, there's fucking Ashworth. Like
That's fucking awesome.
Just walking through the fucking like section. Like,
Was he with
just
his
hanging out
wife
with
and
the people.
kids? Yeah.
Which wife? Which wife?
Which one? We're not talking about BYU yet, Christian.
Is that? No, that's the next one. Sorry, wrong white team. Sorry, wrong white team.
Let's see.
We're not talking about Brandon Davies here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got a little mixed up on my Caucasians there, but
Are you
We'll get
are
to
you
it.
disappointed, or what's your disappointment level? You will not be seeing Yale at any point this tournament.
I am. I did want to get the Cody Rhodes finish the story angle. I was hoping for Yale there.
yeah, I wouldn't mind it a little Yale story there, Yale Cinderella story.
I started laughing. By the way, we're 40 minutes in. I don't think we've talked about anything yet.
We covered the first four though.
we might go.
We covered the first
night.
four.
We covered the first four. That's all that matters.
And, and we're gotten into Creighton and Louisville, so
Yeah,
we're
this is the first game
of
that
the day.
happened. It's the first game, not even
One
of the
down.
day of yesterday.
But no, like
I think
one. I just wanted to say real quick, and like this, I don't know how much is translated on TV and Twitter and all, but just being there in person, the Louisville fans. It was number one. Like, I will give credit to Louisville fans first. That
They
place
showed
was
up.
packed out with Louisville fans, but like they were down by 20. And look, these fucking refs, man. What the fuck? Like that just doesn't play when you're down by 20.
Matt's picture.
Just doesn't come across. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's crazy because I knew it was going to be a crazy environment from the tip off.
Were the refs just the worst officiating you've ever seen yesterday, or was that just Louisville fans? Like,
I mean, it was just Louisville fans, honestly,
they
or
Louisville
Louisville,
fans-
however you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it exactly.
I've never met a Louisville fan in person before yesterday. After yesterday, I hate Louisville.
I don't
Like,
think
I
I
hope-
have either.
I
Trying to
hope-
think.
I hope Louisville goes down in flames after
Bro,
yesterday, because those were the fucking worst fucking people I've ever met. So
Louisville is a
after
garbage
the
city.
game,
I stand
after the
by that
game, these
statement.
Louisville fans, I probably already said this, but yeah, they're like, yeah, we get to watch fucking frauds, Auburn. They lost 4 out of 5. And I was like, all right, let's move down to the lower section. All the losers are leaving. Like, just one of the fucking, like, you just got your ass kicked, man. Just take it on the chest. And they're like, oh, the fucking refs. Like,
Obviously.
yeah, I like I said, that was the first time in my life I've met Louisville fans. So
Yeah, I think I've been a couple when I was there, kind of in that tri-state area near Kentucky and all that, but most of them were actually Kentucky fans and not necessarily Louisville fans. So I can't pretend like I know a lot of Louisville fans either, to be completely honest with you. But I don't know. It does seem like I've heard other stories kind of similar to what you're saying, Travis.
just a trashy fucking fan base. They were
It seems
talking
like
shit about Auburn for no fucking reason. Like, we weren't even playing them. And like, they were just mad about Auburn.
And they're one of the
there were
only
a lot
fans.
of Auburn fans there. Not even a lot of Auburn fans, but
Not really.
second most populated fan base in the arena. So they just took all their anger out on Auburn fans.
Yeah, the arena looked kind of sparse yesterday, to be honest. Even in
After the Louisville,
Creighton.
it was all Louisville fans, and
Mhm.
they fucking dipped.
This dip.
So Cooper came and he got his ticket for fucking $5 for the second session. For
That's wild.
the Tennessee session.
Absolutely wild.
He's for as inbred as Lexington is. The ladies said, "Hell yeah." All right, yeah, Louisville. Yeah, congrats on getting your ass beat. We'll talk about Auburn, Creighton more later.
We have
all
to
next game of the day
address-
was next game of the day was Purdue versus High Point. That seems like a Jacob conversation here. So
Yeah,
I think we
I
need to
guess I'll
give
lead
Jacob
off.
the floor because Jacob deserves his moment in the sun here because a lot of fucking people were saying Purdue was going to lose to High Point,
Yeah.
including the guy on the bottom right corner.
I think Jacob was
So,
saying that as well. So let's hear that.
talk your
My-
shit, Jacob.
My full thing. I just wanted to do reverse psychology. I was just like, this last like month, it's kind of been, as a Purdue fan, it's just been, this team has kind of pissed me off, and I just kind of wanted to. Says the team that played Wofford. Play a real school next time. We'll see how you do against UCLA tomorrow night.
Wait, are you saying that Tennessee's losing to UCLA?
I think it could.
I
happen.
hope so. I think
it could happen.
Fuck the laws.
So
Fuck
Wofford, we all know Wofford's not a real school. We heard from
it's
you
not a real
yourself,
school.
but
Daddy's
Yeah.
money.
like,
Daddy's money.
It's literally just like a mega church.
but
Like,
no, honest, like besides Cooper's comment, like Jacob, you like Purdue game, like I didn't get to watch a lot of it because I was at the arena, but like you do deserve your chance to talk shit.
okay, I
You
didn't
did
have.
literally pick High Point in your
Yeah,
own bracket.
that's.
But,
I mean, I did
yeah,
that.
You said it on Sunday.
I
We
didn't.
can run it back.
I didn't have a lot of confidence in this Purdue team, but because I knew High Point, they were one of the better mid majors in the tournament. They were deep. They could shoot the three. Obviously, it was a close game the whole way, deep into the second half. But Purdue took care of business. We did what we needed to. We didn't turn the ball over. Braden Smith controlled the game from the point. I think Matt Painter coached an excellent game because he beat High Point at their own game. He played through TKR late. TKR
Come on,
and Braden
Hamilton
Smith,
did get hurt for High Point.
Yeah. He kind of got banged up. He did come back in. But I give High Point props. They were a tough team. Purdue just played. Okay, why did Tennessee lose to Loyola Chicago? That's a better question.
Wow.
How do you lose to Loyola Chicago?
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, Sister
Hey,
Jean.
Turn the clock
Sister
back
Jean.
7 years.
Fuck
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Sister Jean bent Smokey over a ledge.
I'm gonna say Cooper the Lake. I'm gonna see if he'll join us. Let's have a show.
Let's have it.
Go ahead, Jacob. Keep.
Okay, but it was a good performance all around for Purdue. Took care of business against one of the better mid majors. So yeah. Sister Jean is still very much alive.
You deserve your. Nah, I'm not even being facetious here. Like a lot of people were spending all week saying how High Point was going to win. Like
what's his
yourself,
face?
Jacob.
including you.
I just did that. I honestly was just doing that to. I considered changing it, but I was like, I don't want to jinx this. The last minute. That's kind of.
Schedule off on your friends. Can you?
But I was happy for you. The fact that Purdue ended up pulling that one out.
What's his face?
Go Thursday.
And I think
thank you. I appreciate it.
They might be okay.
I know. Oh, what's his face was running his mouth on the selection show.
Clark Kellogg.
Not Clark Kellogg.
It could have been
Oh, what's his name? Freaking. He has a thing against Purdue. He always has. Seth
Davis.
Is it Seth Davis? Seth Davis. That's who it was. Seth Davis.
Has a thing against Purdue?
Yes, he does. Like anytime he gets an opportunity, he says something negative about Purdue. But.
And I hate to say it too. Speaking of Purdue, but I'm still probably going to stick with McNeese State. I did pick them in my original bracket, honestly.
Well, they have more aura than Clemson.
They do. They have a ton of aura, like unlimited aura.
I will say,
McNeese is winning tomorrow.
We'll talk about McNeese here in a minute, but I think that's a better matchup for Purdue than High Point was, to be honest.
Well,
yeah,
some Some fucking dumb fuck picked Montana to beat Wisconsin. That was the next game. I will. Yeah. I will.
shit.
Hey, stand up. That was me.
That was a stupid team.
This is a dumb fucking pick. What an
Stupid
idiot. He
fucking
even picked them to cover. They didn't even do that. So, like, yeah. Shout out to that guy. He got that game wrong. But anything on that one?
Not much. Wisconsin just took care of business. They kind of ran their offense. John Tonji had a great game. Montana just, I think that was kind of a far-fetched underdog pick.
Yeah. It was bad. I'm a fucking dumbass. Like, hand up. Matt also had it in his bracket. I went and looked.
They had,
Yeah.
the element of Denver.
In
we
his
talked
ninth
about
bracket.
it. But
Sorry, not
Yeah,
bracket,
Montana
but-
was shooting the lights out going into that tournament. I regret nothing.
that's kind of like a couple of my picks I made. But we'll get to those in.
Hey,
Okay.
shout out to SIU Edwardsville. First ever NCAA tournament. They scored 40 whole points.
Let's go.
So that's
They led-
impressive
That's
effort.
better
by
than I thought
SIU
they would
Edwardsville.
do.
They led 2-0 and then said we're done.
Yeah. Hey, never forget.
Never
2-0.
forget.
They doubled.
Hang the banner.
Stack
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hang the banner. We led Houston 2-0 in the NCAA tournament. But yeah, me and him bet. We split a bet for a fucking prop for SIU Edwardsville to be the lowest scoring team of the day yesterday,
And it
and
was
that
easy.
hit easily.
Yeah,
And it was
that-
plus odds. I found that I was like, oh, plus
It-
100, easy. Like, no doubt.
Yeah. Shout out to him because he called that out on like when we were driving up to Lexington.
I was just going through random like FanDuel props, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And it had like the highest scoring team there and the lowest, and I was like, "Oh, and they're playing Houston. Like they're gonna like do nothing." And then when like especially because it was plus odds, I was like, "Yeah, we should bet this like for sure." Yes.
Oh, it's Cooper. It's definitely Cooper. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Cooper.
I love how you
Oh,
sent me the
baby.
link for my own fucking login.
Let's
Let's
see.
go, baby.
Hey,
Welcome
up?
in, brother.
what's up, Edie fan 69 down there?
We're
Fucking big
streaming on the
laser.
Left Turn Cult right
Oh,
now. By the
there
way,
you go.
Cooper is one of the founders of the Left Turn Cult. So
Yeah, that's
if anybody
awesome.
has a right to be on here, it is Coop Daddy.
What's up,
Hey, how's it
Cooper?
going?
How you
What's
doing,
up?
brother?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. No offense to anything I may have said against Tennessee.
No,
yeah.
I just
Dude,
we're just
fuck
shit
Tennessee.
talking each other. So it's all fun and games.
Yes, sir. Nice
you
to meet
say?
you, there. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Pep, how's
UCLA was
Edie in the
picked
minors?
to advance. Yeah.
He's doing
That's
great in the
somebody
NBA.
Is he? That's awesome. That's awesome, dude.
Matt, what'd you say there?
I said someone in here did pick UCLA to advance. Not me.
Who was it?
Pretty sure Jacob here just said UCLA is going
Oh.
through.
This way.
No, I didn't. I picked Utah State over UCLA, but
Mm.
Yeah, he's like, that wasn't me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's Tennessee is only minus 4.5 against UCLA.
Dude, Tennessee's ass, bro. I don't even know how they made it this far.
Jacob, that's free money, dude. You should go bet UCLA money line.
Might as well.
I haven't bet
Might as well.
the two bets
Yeah,
I was
Jacob, you should
considering
go,
this.
Put
Yeah,
200
Jacob.
on it.
I didn't do. I didn't end up doing
At
it
least.
this week.
I
I was gonna
Minimum.
bet Tennessee to beat the spread against Wofford, but I didn't.
Oh, we got Anthony Davis on the TV right now. What the fuck this is?
It's
Oh,
Anthony
ladies.
Davis prank show. I didn't
That's
know
a
there was a
thing.
market.
Jacob, is Purdue winning tomorrow?
No,
Yes, 100%.
no.
Dude, what about the aura?
I don't care about the aura.
I don't think you consider
Honestly,
that.
The kid got his NIL money. He'll be
Hey,
fine
I'm
with
wearing his jersey right now. See, it's McNeese State right here.
That's Murray State.
There we go. No,
John
it's-
Morant.
nah.
Is that John Morant?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
actually
someone
is.
else?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is. It is John Morant. right here. But I wish it was Ora's jersey. It's what's his
McNeese
name?
State money line, Jacob.
There it is. There it
So,
is.
so
Uh-oh.
if
That's
Purdue
sweet.
loses to
Emotional head.
McNeese tomorrow, Jacob, where does that stack up on the list of Matt
I-
Painter embarrassing losses at Purdue?
I wouldn't be that
Hypothetically.
It wouldn't
Is
be
that top 5? Because
No.
he's had quite a few of them. Like,
It would. It's not that embarrassing.
does that beat Little Rock? Is that more embarrassing than Little Rock? Or
Little Rock was more embarrassing than McNeese
Okay.
State would be, because Little Rock, they just like hit dumbass shots. Like,
does that beat St. Peter's? Because you said yourself St. Peter's wasn't that embarrassing. Like, you said St. Peter's was a good team.
I did not say St. Peter's was a good team. So, I wasn't a big that team. We just didn't play defense. It's kind of the same issue with this team. So,
Well, Clemson McNeese.
yeah,
Like, what? So,
Hey, I
good
mean
win
that,
for-
bro.
Yeah. that was a great win. Sorry, what were you saying, Jacob?
I was gonna say I didn't see that one coming, to be completely honest.
See, that is actually one that I did predict. I have actually, unfortunately, Jacob, I do have McNeese in my Sweet 16, beating
Christian
Purdue
has
next
Aura.
round.
Sounds
I do
like.
have Aura. I'm not gonna lie. What do they call him? Mr. Aura Amir Ramadan Khan. Ramadan Khan. It's a season. It's a
Is that
season
some
right
sort of
now.
fucking
So
cult? What is that?
I think it is his cult.
Their
And I
manager.
think he's running it nowadays. So
Oh yeah.
so I have him during his season. I think it is his time to win this next one as well. It's one of the. I picked a couple underdogs going to Sweet 16, but they're one of mine going to Sweet 16. So I do see that happening.
I didn't get to see a lot of the game because we were at our games yesterday, but McNeese led by a lot in this game. Seemed like they tried to give it away at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave up a big lead, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of questions if Will Wade was going to be distracted by, like, obviously taking all their jobs after this game. It doesn't seem like that was the case because
No.
they took
It's such
care
a
of
weird
business here.
announcement.
But
They came out and
Yeah.
just took care of business against Clemson. Clemson had a shockingly bad first half. Like,
Yeah.
just
That was
blew
one of the
up
worst.
Clark
Yeah.
Kellogg's bracket into oblivion.
I had Clemson in the Sweet 16. So, because I mean, I picked them because they beat Duke. Apparently, they had an injury going into this game. I don't know if it was a big player or not. I work with a Clemson grad, and he was not very happy today. I kind of talked with him about it. So, that was just – and they came back at the end. They kind of did the McNeese took their foot off the gas at the end. They weren't shooting the greatest in the second half. They just kind of ran the clock out against Clemson, and Clemson didn't. They had a shot to tie it actually at the end, but McNeese State held on.
Cooper, are you staying on for the show, by the way, or do you just want to talk about the Vols? Because I don't want to hold you up if you just want to talk about the Vols. But
I mean, that's like the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk some Tennessee. Yeah, talk some Tennessee and talk shit to little bitch down here.
Yeah,
but you
there
pointed
go.
at Matt. I assume you meant to point
Yeah, you're pointing at Matt.
Me?
Oh, there he is.
You're pointing at
He's
Matt.
doubling down.
No, on my screen he's right here. This is
Oh.
Beth.
Yeah, you're pointing at Matt on our screen.
This one, that's
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, you're pointing at Jacob now. Like, but
What the fuck? No, that's Jacob.
It's inverted.
Yeah, it's
are you
inverted,
pointing
Josh.
at Jacob or Matt? Who?
Jacob.
Okay,
And then he points at Matt.
I'm still pointing at Matt on our screen.
Hold on.
He does it again.
Still
Look at
pointing at
this.
Matt.
That's ass backwards, bro.
It's inverted.
But yeah, no. If you want to stay on here and talk about the games, you're welcome. But I assume you want to talk about the Vols, so I don't want to like hold you up to.
Dude, I want to
Stay
talk
on
about how we
here.
didn't get to see a granny shot last night. Fuck those fans.
We did not.
We got to
Terrible.
hear a bunch of barking.
I hate Wofford so much, man.
Hey,
I'm
man.
glad you all beat them. Like,
Okay.
You know, it was a good game, though.
yeah,
I was a fan. I mean,
their guards play good. Kyler Filowich, he got every he didn't get every foul called last night, but
Yeah, you would
He was
mention
so
that. So I mean, you didn't see any of it last night.
So you see him shoot. I think he shot like 15 free throws in ETSU's game against him.
He warmed up in the second half.
But-
He was shooting, and we were trying to get a video of it, but we couldn't get the video. We saw him doing it.
I will give an honest assessment though, like all bullshit aside, like if Zakai Ziegler and Chaz Lanier play like that for the next 5 games, like Tennessee can win a national championship.
Chaz dropped like 29 last night. This guy was up to fucking 11 assists, I believe.
'Cause
10, 11 assists last night.
That's been the question with Tennessee all year. It's like, can they score enough in a game that matters? Can Zakai and Chaz play like that? And they both of those guys brought it last night.
And our depth is weak too, especially when Cam Carr walked out. I mean, that was a good bench player that we had, and him walking out kind of sucked and hurt. So now it's just kind of, can the players stay in the games? Can we not foul out? Can we not have to rely on the bench? And we can stick with the starters and, you know, the solid little 8 rotation we have, then we're fine.
Yeah, Tennessee was great last night. I'm like, yeah, Chaz Lanier looked like the guy everybody was kind of talking about early in the season, probably overreacting a little bit.
Hardcore.
Where it was like, oh, he's the replacement for, what's his fucking name?
Dalton.
Lakers.
Dalton
Connect. Sorry, I've had a few too much beverages tonight.
Oh no, you're
Forgetting
good,
some
Travis.
names. But yeah, at the start of the year, that was the kind of conversation was like, Chaz Lanier was the replacement for Dalton Connect, and he obviously was not that player all year, but Chaz played one of his best games of the season last night, and it's if that's the Chaz Lanier Tennessee is going to get this whole tournament, like Tennessee can go and win a national championship.
It's easy squeaking through. I mean, they can easily get past to, I mean, Elite 8. It just, you know, round of 16 where it depends who they're probably going to end up playing Kentucky, so that's going to be a tough game.
Matt, you raised your eyebrows there. I feel like you've had some.
I don't think anything's easy for Tennessee these days in NCAA tournament play. They don't make it very easy on themselves. Like Wofford was frisky there with them. You know, that was I wouldn't be surprised if UCLA played them within 5 points there. That's what they're favored by.
Is that the spread? 5?
Spread's 4.5.
4.5.
Is it 4.5?
I think I have in my real bracket I have Tennessee going to the.
And then Kentucky's beaten them twice already. They'll have to beat them again or beat them once there. They probably should, but
it just comes down to, I mean, how efficient can they play?
Yeah,
they're just gonna. I mean, defensively.
If they get that version of Chaz Lanier that they got last night, though, like
they can beat anybody.
Yeah, they can beat any team in the tournament if they get that version of Chaz Lanier.
Yeah,
because that was the version of Chaz Lanier we saw in November and December.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, it's funny to see my my family group chat come alive because most of it is people from the state of Tennessee, which half of it is from Memphis, and there's a couple of Knoxville people sprinkled into the rotation. So it's a fun little rivalry to see. Definitely a couple Knoxville folks happy to see that, but it's mainly a couple of them rubbing it into the to the Memphis fans.
Oh yeah, especially after today, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I did feel bad for sure for my Memphis fans, but to be expected though.
No, yeah, exactly.
Because they would do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Had it been Tennessee and
I do not think Tennessee wants Houston, but I don't think they're going to get Houston. I think they're going to probably get Gonzaga if this.
Oh yeah, you've been saying that, haven't you?
I have Gonzaga.
Yeah, Matt's been saying that.
I will call it again. I will look into the camera. I will
call
it
one more time.
Yes, Gonzaga will beat Houston tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll beat them tomorrow. 74-70 tomorrow. Gonzaga over Houston.
I'm with you, Matt. I got Gonzaga beating them too in my bracket. I'm with you.
Love it.
That's to segue into the next game, I know Gonzaga and Georgia. Gonzaga just throttled Georgia.
Oh my God.
Hardcore.
It was never a game. It was like 22-3. I saw that score and I was like, dang.
Yeah, that was a belt to ass situation.
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty
just
fucking gnarly.
I didn't realize it
Gonzaga,
was football season.
Gonzaga is the most underseeded team in the tournament by far.
No, Louisville is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Georgia took nothing but L's yesterday. They got 2 players arrested for fucking DUI.
Yeah, I saw that. I
I
saw that.
All right.
Nothing but
I know this is a
L's.
college basketball podcast, but how do you crash into an apartment?
Named
Yeah.
Nitro.
Who put that?
Bro.
His
apartment
name is
there?
Nitro.
Hey, not
Yeah,
that I've tried before, but even if I were to try super hard, I probably couldn't do it. Crash into an apartment.
If you tried it at DUI,
If
Yeah.
I tried my absolute
No.
hardest right now, I couldn't.
Corporal Mosquito would never allow that.
No, corporate mosquito. Shout out Live PD, Cover County.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Christian, I backed into your fucking big yellow SUV when I was
Oh,
like
yeah,
16, and I thought, look, my life was over. I can't imagine crashing into a whole apartment building. Like,
Yeah.
It's a big difference right there, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, they're on a fucking roll. So good job, Georgia.
oh yeah. Also, or that I mean, mention
so hold
it
on,
that.
general with the Georgia, like with the Georgia thing, like, are we buying into the whole like the SEC was overrated thing? I don't give a fuck. I'm not, because like I said, I'm not an SEC
Big SEC
fan. I'm an Auburn fan, and I tried to make that clear to Matt's good friend yesterday. But like, so is the SEC overrated, or are we buying into that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
a simple answer. I don't think so.
I think they just got too many teams in because like they started putting in teams that were kind of meh. You know, Texas.
I mean,
and-
Georgia
Texas
as the
and
9
Georgia,
seed did
yeah.
seem ridiculous. Like
Yeah. Texas and Georgia kind of got that push right at the end.
Oklahoma
did, but they're at least decent. Oklahoma has Jeremiah Fears, so.
I mean, Texas has Trey Johnson, but
I don't think the SEC should be criticized for having teams getting beat by Gonzaga and the 2-time defending national champions. So that's kind of tough to hold against them.
should they be criticized for the 14th best team in the conference getting beat by Xavier? Or?
No, probably not. I mean, Xavier was not a bad team, and I mean, if the 14th best team in your conference is Texas, that's still a pretty good conference. Who's the 14th best team in the Big Ten or the ACC? I mean, that's
very true.
what you have to ask yourself there. Like, you're just comparing 2 totally different situations and 2 totally different teams there, and just conferences alone, it does not really make a lot of sense to like. So no, I do not think the ACC is, or the SEC rather, is overrated or any of that. They had the right amount of teams in, and yeah, I don't think that it was ever a situation where they're overrated. But I mean, you're talking about like,
was Gonzaga with the spread? I got it at 7, 6.5, whatever. Was that the easiest bet of all time? Like, I'm mad I didn't.
It's up there. Yeah, it's up there.
Oregon 6.5.
I mean, I just looked and Oregon. Yeah, that's true. Liberty did lay an absolute egg tonight. But
I'm a big believer in Houston, but when I saw that they got Gonzaga as like the 8 seed, I was like, oh crap, that's gonna be
That's pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that round of 32 game is gonna be insane.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be a good one.
Like,
I mean, it just goes along with the whole theme of this tournament where things are chalky.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know who the good teams are. You know who's better in these games. And it's like Gonzaga was obviously the better team in that game, and Georgia was just happy to be there. I'm sure they'll give Mike White some ridiculous extension and just be happy he got them to the tournament for the first time in however many years.
Keep Mike White there forever.
Yeah. Mike White is not a great coach.
Lifetime contract.
you've seen what Florida has done without him there. They had that Elite Eight run, but that was it. And then they've skyrocketed back to what they were under Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that game when we get to today's games. But
What game we got next?
you got VCU and BYU.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch a lot of that one, but I was on the Cougars in that one. So
I know it was kind of close early, and then BYU pushed it out, and then VCU brought it back a little bit. I picked BYU in that game. I think they have a good offense, good coaching, and Ryan Odom, he's gone to Virginia.
is this the year BYU gets revenge for Brandon Davies?
That's a good question, actually. BYU, so they were eliminated Brandon Davies' year by Florida. Florida beat them that year in 2011.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing: they smashed BYU like they were they smashed VCU like they were Brandon Davies.
Yeah, I mean, they only
if you
won
don't
by
get that
9.
reference, you aren't a ball knower.
Yeah, it wasn't like a total bloodbath. But yeah.
So they didn't smash as hard as Brandon Davies smashed.
Yeah. BYU is just better than VCU, and shot 50% for the game, and yeah, it was just VCU's defense just did not really show up, unfortunately for them, and the pace of the game was not one that they were comfortable really playing. So yeah, and they could not guard Igor. They had no matchup for him. Tough times there for VCU.
And Jimmer was there.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's obviously going to make the difference.
Yeah.
Is Christian still here, by the way?
Yeah, he's just...
He's been gone for a while.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm staying.
He lags in and out.
We're chilling. Yeah, I actually, in that game, I did pick VCU, actually. I was hoping my Virginia team would give me a W, but yeah, well,
they just absolutely went to Pound Town and made Brandon Davies proud.
Yeah. May have soaked him a little bit, as they say.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Some would say they earthquaked.
Yeah.
As Brandon Davies would do.
Yeah. I mean, that's a term they put it at. I think that is a term they use.
I do know VCU just didn't. They don't have an offense to keep up with BYU.
Yeah, not this year.
Yeah, not this year. But Ryan Odom will be a great fit at Virginia.
Matt has been on here trying to push the Shaka Smart vision for a while. It sounds like the Ryan Odom is official. So
yeah, they hired the.
You said you're
I just realized.
Sorry,
I
you
just
said you're disappointed, Matt. Sorry, Jacob.
I just realized. Right, they just hired the UMBC. Ryan Odom was UMBC's coach when they lost at Virginia. I just thought about that.
Why are you disappointed, man?
So it's come full circle.
Well, I'm not I don't know. I was hoping to see Shaka back in that area, and I do think that the Marquette people are kind of growing a little fatigued.
I bet they are after tonight. I bet they fucking are.
Yeah, I think they're maybe we could go deeper than the first round or Sweet 16 once in a while here. I understand Tyler Cole got hurt the one year, but yeah, tonight they made the Mountain West look really good. So that Shaka
happy.
Stuff is
New Mexico saved. I'm not happy because I had Marquette -4, but New Mexico did save them out. As soon as I stopped believing in the Mountain West, the
Lobos.
There was
the Lobos.
Bro, Lobos is such a sexy mascot.
Definitely,
we'll get into that
it really
game.
is a sick mascot. What was the next one though?
The next game was Texas A&M and Yale. That we hadn't talked about already, but
we all know Yale is a great team.
Yeah, I think Matt had Yale.
They don't go out. Yale does not go out easy in March.
Well, this year they did because Bezembang played a horrible game. Was the Ivy League Player of the Year, and did nothing.
What happened? What happened, Matt? Tell him what happened.
I don't think he had a point.
Not one. Not
Humiliating.
one.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible, man.
Yeah. And here's Buzz Williams looking like an antebellum banker, like dressed in his whole attire, everything. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, very, very frustrating for Yale. And that being said, I hope A&M throttles Michigan because I'm getting.
Hey, shout out to A&M. They beat a very tough team to beat,
Yeah.
by the way. Like, not everybody gets by Yale easily in March, and A&M did it. Shout out to them. That's not an easy task to do.
Yeah.
I had this game read perfectly, I think. Yale, I knew they put in a good performance, but A&M, I think their physicality, they just outplayed Yale. Didn't let Yale run their offense, run the Ivy League type offense that Yale's known for. So I think we pretty much covered it. If anyone else, does anyone else have anything to say about that game?
No, I think that was a little bit more self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Matchup right there, but
Hey, man, just you can't gloss over beating Yale because that's a tough.
that is true. No, that's definitely true. That's definitely true.
The next game we have, I think this might have been the game of the night, nightcap, second best game of the night, probably, behind Arkansas and Kansas. But
yeah, we already talked about that. But
Drake beat Missouri, upset Missouri. I was rooting for Drake the whole way over Missouri. They played excellent ball, just excellent ball movement the whole way.
They started from the bottom. Now they're in the round of 32.
Yeah, we're here.
I feel so weird. I saying I rooted for Drake.
I know, me too. Me too.
Like it's like I say it and I'm like, gosh dang, I'm a Kendrick guy.
Me too. Me too. Because I'm a huge Kendrick fan. So me even like saying that I predicted Drake to win anything sounds kind of crazy. So, but yeah, I actually did pick Drake to win this. I have Drake in my Sweet 16 actually. I have them beating Texas Tech next round.
Oh damn.
So I wasn't too shocked by this win, and it looked like a comfortable 10 point victory on their end. So
Mizzou was just not like us.
Not like us. Exactly. Thank you, Trav. That's what I was. I couldn't put my tongue on it.
References.
There it is. They're not like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Drake played one of the weirder statistical games you'll find. They were 54% from the field. They were 50% from three. They were 12 of 24 on their free throws, which was maddening to watch. If they made like 80% of their free throws, they could have won by 15. But yeah, here we are. Shitty free throw shooting. That was driving me crazy. Apparently, that's not something they do very well in Division II. It's not in their DNA. So yeah, just very frustrating stuff there. Yeah. So yeah, Drake's got their hands full though with the Red Raiders. That's a Juve special. Juve has the Red Raiders crushing Drake. So
the SEC was fraudulent. So Drake got a free pass in that one.
Yeah.
Bennett Sturt.
Jacob Mizzou was going to win the SEC regular season.
Back in January, yeah, they were.
We finally, ended that one there. So, yeah, Dennis Gates got very outcoached in that game. That was probably the worst coaching mismatch I've seen from any game this tournament.
With Jacob on here, I do. So, does this solidify your Ben McCollum as a better coach than Darian DeVries? Is this like the justification you needed?
Yes, it is. Exactly. Bro, I loved Drake's offense. I hadn't watched much of them this year, but I think that offense runs smoothly.
You love their offense? Like, that's what you walked away from Drake games?
That ball movement was crazy.
Did you like the tempo, too?
Yes. Loved it. Bennett Sturts told Dennis Gates, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe."
Yeah.
He's talking about Ben McCollum.
Yeah, that's
I know
Yeah.
he's
Good
He's
on
going
him.
to go to Iowa and say he needs some really big rings.
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, I know Drake. They pretty much controlled the game from the opening moments. Got up by a lot. Let Missouri mount a comeback there towards the end, but then they pulled away. Some very clutch shots by Bennett Sturts, among others. There's some crazy free throws, or not free throws, but layups in that game as well. Just like off balance layups.
Yes, because they took all their shots
Yeah.
with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah. But yeah, just a great performance by Drake. We'll see how they do against Texas Tech. We can kind of discuss that game. Texas Tech actually played a pretty close one with UNC Wilmington, but they took care of business in the end.
Well, business was taken care of. They ended up winning by 10, but it was not a 10-point game for, like, I don't know, most of the time. They were down at halftime.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I knew UNC Wilmington would give Texas Tech a game. I didn't think they'd win, but
Yeah, that was thank goodness for them for Carwin Walden just went for fucking 30 points almost. All on threes. So yeah, he was
Do the announcers know what Wilmington, North Carolina is? They were just like UNCW. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Wilmington one time, like
it's like the hidden beach town.
Yeah, Wilmington is underrated.
Outer Banks.
Oh yeah,
Outer Banks.
I love Wilmington.
I need
it's
to get
tiny,
there
man.
sometime.
It's good. It's just like a private.
Shout out to Flame and Amy's Burritos, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Shout out to them. I don't know if I've ever been there, but I've been to Outer Banks like every single year since I've been like 10. But I got to go to Flame and Amy's.
I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, and saw the Patriots lose the 2015 AFC Championship game. That's my memory.
That's pretty shitty. Pretty shitty.
2-point conversion to send it to overtime. Got stopped. But...
Tough. Yeah, that was not fun.
I know there's a couple other games before we talk about
Kemba Christian.
The most.
No, it's the other guy, Uzi. My cat going crazy. Yeah, it's not the orange cat. Kemba's still actually in Maryland.
Oh yeah,
he's getting a little old. He's with my parents. He's doing good though. He's doing good. What was the next game? Sorry.
I was going to say the next two games we can just kind of discuss at once because there's not a whole lot to say. But of course, UCLA blew out Utah State.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
My boy.
They disappointed me.
My boy with the big shorts. That was a baller.
I'm glad I changed. I initially had Utah State in the Sweet 16. I changed it. But just disappointing.
Yeah, Utah State zone was quite easy for UCLA to figure out there. So that game was over quickly.
And I'm saying this in Cooper's friendship, like I am you won't find a bigger Mountain West basketball supporter and enthusiast than me. But was this, and this is the last year of the Mountain West as we know it, but was this the official referendum on the Mountain West after this game?
Yeah, I think this weekend is the official end of it.
San Diego State had that one national championship game run, and other than that, it's just the same shit, different year.
I mean, no, it's not. They still have two teams playing, so if either of those teams mount any kind of run, it would be New Mexico would be their best chance to do it. And
you can go ahead and check off neither of those two teams are winning.
Yeah, you can catch Michigan State on an off day, but they would be the best chance because I don't particularly think that Colorado State will be beating Maryland, but We'll see. Michigan State's only 6.5 favored over New Mexico, so
Damn.
Take it.
yeah, it's not
Yeah, that's crazy.
totally off base. And then Maryland's 7.5 over Colorado State. So both teams have like legit guys, though. That's the difference between Utah State and like New Mexico. Like Donovan Dent and Nelly Jr. Joseph are.
You got to do a Gus Johnson. We've
Yeah.
already established. You can't say his name without doing Gus Johnson.
Yeah. There goes that man, Nelly Jr. Joseph.
As soon as
Cleaning
they
up
said
the
his,
glass.
as soon as they said his name, I thought about you saying that, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to sleep thinking that.
He's shooting his
Yeah.
face.
There he goes. It's getting hot in here for Nelly Jr. Joseph.
Johnson.
There we go.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. So, yeah, they do have like legit guys though, and like Nick Clifford is a legit player for Colorado State, so they at least have like real
Who was
dudes.
dude that hit like 6 3-pointers for Colorado State today? Like,
What's his name?
it wasn't Neek.
No, it was not Neek today. Who gave
I don't
it
know,
to him?
but Memphis they just fucking sucked, man.
Fucking whopped.
Yeah, they literally just got fucking dicked right there. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know another way to say it, honestly.
That's all you can say.
Yeah, I don't know a better way to say it. So like, I don't know
Well,
if there's
yeah,
a
they
more
just got
appropriate way.
tanked in the second half of that game.
Yeah.
It was like Kyan Evans had, I think, like 8 threes or something.
That's who I was talking about.
He went
okay,
6 or
yeah.
9 from 3.
There you
There was a
go.
couple people asking me about that game, and I was confident. Memphis is not going to lose this game. They're about to play Maryland in the next round, and it's all going to be all great and yada yada. But no, I mean, there was also
Yeah.
a lot of people on
By
Colorado.
the way, they can back this. So Tennessee game, we're sitting like down low, and we get kicked out by like random people and like ushers and stuff, and like we moved back down for the Utah State UCLA game, and we're like, oh, we were sitting in the UCLA family section. That's why they kicked us out.
Oh,
We picked the one section that was the UCLA family
Yeah, I
section.
glanced over and it's the whole entire fucking lower half on that row. Just God, man, the entire section was filled of them.
And dude, we're walking
While
back up
y'all-
the stairs, and the cop goes to me and says, "Go find your seats." And I'm like, "All right, man,
Well,
like, this is nuts."
keep in mind, I'm assuming y'all are wearing Auburn shirts.
Me and him were
And Coops were in Tennessee. Like,
Yeah.
just absolutely nuts, dude.
That's funny as
Like,
shit.
I didn't have beef with UCLA before, but I do now.
we're in the middle of the UCLA family section.
So that's kind
I
of
can't
on
have
us.
beef, man. I love number 55 last night. That dude was fucking
Them
hooping.
Yeah, he had the and one mixtape shorts
Dude.
on.
wait, is that Laser Stefanovic? Is that who that is?
No idea.
I don't know.
Okay.
So
That might-
let me say this: if he's wearing those shorts tomorrow against Tennessee, y'all are screwed.
I'm sweating.
You got no shot, man.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
we're done.
So we were going through the day, and I just want to ask, like, honestly, like the rest of you, besides me and William Luke as Auburn fans, like everybody is just like, oh, Auburn fucking proving they were frauds. Look, like we won the game by fucking 20. Like, and like me and him have had our own debates about it, but like, did you guys watch that game yesterday and be like, oh, Auburn's in trouble, or like,
Well,
how did you guys all honestly feel about that one?
I'll say I watched the game yesterday, and I picked them as my team to win it coming into the game, and I feel a little bit more strongly that they are going to win it after the game. So
I felt like
I
they were
think-
just kind of on cruise control. Like there was
Yeah, they
no
kinda
need to go
slowed
hard.
them.
There was no need to, press
definitely,
anything that you don't need to. So
They kind of they were kind of running through the motions.
yeah,
And then I told, like at the end of the first half they pulled away, and I was like, they've got this game in the bag. So they're easily, I'd say they'll go pretty deep.
Okay, so as Travis alluded to, me and him have been having a debate since the Auburn game. Like,
all right, let's hear it.
You
Let's
know.
hear it. Let's hear it.
so I was in the spot of like, in the first half, I was like, what was that? Like I said early in the stream, I was like, just the effort level was just not there at times. And like Cooper alluded to, like it seemed like they were just going through the motions, almost like they didn't want to be in this game. Like they weren't taking Alabama State seriously. And like it's not like we've had like insane postseason success like post Final Four run because we haven't. And especially last year with Yale's loss, I don't know how we didn't come out of that game like being like focused, effort, all that stuff. Like, so that's what worried me is that like Cooper said, it would seem like they were just going through the motions
Just
of
cruise
we're
control,
just
yeah.
better than Alabama
Right.
State.
But I just said on the opposite side of like how many times have you seen these games in March Madness, a lower seed versus a higher seed? They come out and throw the absolute kitchen sink at you in the first half.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
play a good game, and then the second half you
Yeah,
pull
the
away.
problem is that Alabama State does not have a kitchen sink to throw at you. So it is, I think, the first half was a little concerning, but I don't think it's the end of the world for them that they, allowed Alabama State to stay in that game for 19 minutes.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a killer for like if we go on a run in the tournament, right? I'm just saying, like you said, Matt, it is a little concerning that we didn't come out with more intensity, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. Because
Okay.
if they don't, in the next game, Creighton's good enough to beat them. They're not.
Yeah.
They're
If we
much
come
better
out with the
than Alabama
intensity we did in the first half versus Alabama State, Creighton's gonna be up by like
But
20 in the first half.
I
do-
disagree. Like
I was
with
gonna say-
I disagree with the notion that they didn't come out with the intensity. That's what me and him have been debating about for the last
I don't think
day. Is that I think it was just like we weren't making the shots. I don't think it was like an intensity thing. I think we were
Yeah.
just missing shots.
Okay,
Like
so
I don't like.
So let's settle the debate with this then. All right, what do y'all think? Do you think it was just a like effort thing, or just the shots weren't falling?
I think it's just you're getting up to tournament speed. Like I saw the same thing with Purdue being a 1 seed last year. Grambling comes out, they kind of hit their shots in the first half. There's some guy freaking jumping on Edie. The Wolverine is jumping on Edie. And then the second half, you just take over against the 16 seed. The very next game, we did not look like that at all. We blew the doors
Yeah,
off.
you beat Utah State by 100.
100.
I
We
hope
hit
you're right.
like
I hope
16
I hope
threes.
versus Creighton we come out with some fire and beat them
Mhm.
by 40. Like I hope tomorrow like that game's never in
Mhm.
question.
The
I'll
only
feel
thing-
much better.
The only
Matt-
thing with
Matt-
Creighton is it'll be tougher than Utah State just because Creighton's a better coach team.
I kind of want to hear
Christian and
Matt's
Matt,
input
like,
on this.
yeah.
I kind of want to hear
Well,
Matt's
let's
input.
get let's get Matt and opinions. Or let's get Matt and Christian's opinions first on if it was
Yeah.
effort or shooting.
Well,
Okay,
I'll go quick if you
Yeah.
want to go after me.
You got it.
I was just going to say I did actually watch
cool.
the first half of the game, and I honestly thought it was more of a shooting thing.
Okay.
While they probably could have come out with a little bit more effort in the first half of the game to assert their dominance a little bit more than they did, I kind of thought it did kind of come more down to a little bit of the luck aspect and kind of I think Jacob was saying it too, kind of settling into the tournament itself. That's an important aspect in itself, is kind of settling into it, getting your nerves underway and actually shooting the ball from there. So I thought it was a little bit more of a shooting thing. I still am, honestly, after this game, I'm actually a little bit more confident in my national championship pick because of the fact that they did end up winning the round of 64 game by 20 points. So I would say that's my take on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that game was 28-15. Chaney Johnson hits the layup and then they get the under 8 timeout. They're up by 13. So at that point, you're kind of expecting them to take over and this game to be a wrap. And then that does not end up happening and they go on virtually something of almost a 15-3 run. And at that point the game's almost tied. So I don't know how much of that has I do think there is something to be said about we're not making the shots, but if Auburn were going total balls to the wall, I do not think Alabama State's capable of a 15-3 run or anything of that.
No.
if they're playing like how they were at Bama, or when they had that Tennessee game, I do not think a run of that variety is possible against either of those teams in that environment. And then, it should not be possible against Alabama State on a neutral court. So I do think that some of it is a bit like lack of focus, maybe, or just kind of a bit of, like, which is concerning. Like, they know how good they are, and they are good enough to take their foot off the gas entirely against Alabama State, but
No team is.
yeah, they're probably not good enough to do that against Creighton or anyone else they'll see in the
No.
field. So
Absolutely not.
I do think that's the biggest difference in the teams that usually win the NCAA tournament. They're capable of putting together like 40 incredible minutes and 40 complete minutes for the entire game. This Auburn team, that they're certainly talented enough, but the focus aspect and just consistency aspect, that's got to be there. So it was not there. I did not think it was there when they played in the first game, but
it's just what I said to him is like, for all the talk about like the effort and this and that, it's like if you flip 3 of those 3-pointers that they had open, then they just miss, and it's just missing shots. It's not good, but like it is what it is. They miss shots. If they're up by 19 at halftime, we're not even having this discussion. We're like, oh yeah, Auburn took care of business. Like, but it's the fact that the number itself looked a little closer than it was. It's like, oh, they were like, but if it's a 19-point lead versus 10-point lead, nobody's saying this.
To be fair, though, to my point, I'm not like directly talking about the score of the game. I'm talking about, yes, there is times when you're missing shots, and that's something you cannot control. That's like an outside thing. But what you can always control is how much effort and intensity you're playing.
But I'm saying and that's what me and him have been talking about. It's like if the score of the game was a 19-point lead or a 22-point lead versus a 10-point lead, nobody's questioning their effort. They're like,
sure, but they had that lead already. They had a 13-point lead in the first half of the game.
Yeah, and they just went on a cold spell.
And
maybe. I mean, that that could very well be.
Chad Baker-Mazara and Todd Pettiford were terrible in this game. They just weren't making shots. Like, they weren't doing what they needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that, like some of these shots, like there are a lot of missed threes. But for that, I mean, Janai was off the floor, until that run, and when they got it to 28-15, and then Janai came back in. He did not get very many touches in that time that Alabama State went on that run. So I don't know. I think a lot more of it. A lot of it's in their control. I think they, were not as probably offensively. They were not all there, but who knows? These things happen. You could be like Purdue last year, or it could be a sign that you're on the way out. So could go either way. But the big thing that Creighton looked really, really good. And if they, put in that kind of effort, Auburn's going to have to work for it the entire 40 minutes. So not saying they won't be able to, obviously, but
I mean, it's easy. Yeah, if they're making every fucking shot like they were yesterday, it's gonna like that's just how it goes. I mean, if you're shooting it well, like it's gonna be hard to keep up.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be overly concerned.
I mean, Ashworth was out of his fucking mind yesterday. If he plays like that again tomorrow, like we're gonna be in a dogfight.
Yeah.
We're going to need to hope Miles Kelly, which Miles Kelly did say he loves the rims at Rupp. Because remember, he had the great game against Kentucky earlier this year. And then he shot it. I was thinking in the second half when Miles Kelly made another one that he might be coming for Golke's fucking record there for a second. But they took him out of the game. So,
well, they'll
probably doesn't have the record, by the way. I was reading through the program earlier. I thought he set the record last year, but somebody else has the record.
They'll be in that dogfight scenario regardless of whether they beat Creighton or not, because A&M will be waiting. So it's
Well, that's if they beat Michigan. But.
Absolutely not. I cannot fathom that team would not beat Michigan, but I
You don't
cannot
think so?
fathom that
You don't
many
think so?
other teams have beaten Michigan. So we'll
Dude,
see.
Michigan has. We'll put a pin in this. Let's save it for the end. Let's get through the rest of the games.
Get through the
save
rest of the game.
preview. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let's get to today's games because we'll have to put a pin in that because you definitely. Down.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention from Thursday's games. Of course, after we don't really need to talk about St. John's Omaha very much. Omaha stayed in it quickly.
No trash cans. Trash cans were
trash cans.
in good health yesterday.
The UC San Diego Michigan game. What a heartbreaker, man.
Not UC a heartbreaker for me. I had Michigan minus 2.5. I was
UC San
happy.
Diego
I was not heartbroken.
UC San Diego battled in that. And they just got foiled by Michigan and the refs.
Yeah, Michigan was too big, like I said on Sunday.
Vlad Golden gets away with stuff nobody else gets away with. I'm done with them.
Or they're just too big. San Diego didn't have the guys to guard Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf, and Michigan just out-rebounded them.
That's not why they won.
That's why they won. I have to disagree with you.
I disagree on that.
They only got out-rebounded by 6. Yeah. It wasn't as if they got absolutely plastered on the glass.
But when it mattered, they just couldn't get the rebounds they needed. Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf were Golden especially. He was crashing the glass late, and Michigan got a few offensive rebounds late that made the difference.
Yeah, they only got 4 more offensive boards. It wasn't I wouldn't say that was entirely the full reason. But the reason why was Tate Jones fouled out.
That's what I was gonna say.
And he's their best player, and he could only play 25 minutes, which was a total sham across the board. And yes, Golden gets away with a ton. He particularly gets away with a ton on defense, and he is a flop master of sorts. So yeah, he's mastered that
no flop
stuff.
master is outdoes Mark Sears, by the way.
No,
if Auburn has to play Michigan, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, get ready.
I watched the game yesterday. I understand it, but I just think Sandy going down the stretch, Michigan was able to get some offensive boards that made the difference, and that wasn't the refs. That was just Michigan getting offensive boards they needed to get. And
the size did not really factor in. Danny Wolf only had 9 points. They did not really it was not a size issue, I think. I truly, honestly think that if Tate Jones played that entire game and got, his usual minutes load, they probably would have won. San Diego, I think, is straight up, if that were a best of 7, San Diego probably, would have beaten them.
Michigan was up 25-10 in the first half or something like that. What are we talking about?
UC San Diego started off cold. That happens sometimes. And they brought it back.
They went on a run and made it close, but Michigan was the better team in that game.
I think the difference was their cold start and the foul totals. Straight up.
They seriously outplayed Michigan in the second half of that game. I think.
But Michigan seriously outplayed them in the first half, and Michigan seriously outplayed them down the stretch.
But yeah, and it's one of those things that it was very frustrating watching because so much of what San Diego does goes through Tate Jones, and they just didn't have to. They didn't have him. They had to readjust how they ran their offense on the fly, basically. And it is very frustrating. I don't think he has not fouled out of a game this year, and then of course gets into this game, and it was frustrating to see. So yeah, I am still not kind of over that result.
Mm-hmm. Just a controversial finish. That was my second Sweet 16.
What was controversial?
It was just a controversial finish.
I don't think it was controversial. I think Michigan was just the better team and out rebounded them when it mattered. I guess I haven't. Christian hasn't, but I just see that as Michigan was just the size came up, like the size issue for San Diego reared its head when it really mattered.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just hated how that finish, having your best guy like off the floor entirely with
And
that much
they,
time left in the game.
they had another Creed contributor foul out as well. I forget
Yeah.
his name.
That thing earlier. Ow, fuck. Jesus.
Yeah.
I just ran over his toe with a chair. Oh, at the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in hotel chairs in here. So.
Nice.
Not nice.
I'm trying to plug my phone in. This is quite the fucking effort right here.
I guess we'll get to Thursday.
I guess I'm
now.
trying harder than Auburn did yesterday because they didn't try very hard yesterday.
And you would be correct. At least in the first half. Look, let me say this. I love my guys. It's been a great year so far. But at the same time, you can be a fan of a team and still have like frustrations with the team.
See, that's how I am this season.
Right.
I don't care about Purdue.
I was about to say, am I being like I got to see my team like win a game in March Madness by 20 yesterday, and I'm very happy with that personally. I can't walk away from a game in the NCAA tournament with a win by 20 and be like, oh fuck the. I'm just happy.
True. Two things can be true. You can be happy your squad won, but also have fair criticisms. Like they're not a perfect team, and that's okay. Like no team's perfect.
Right.
Like it's okay to have like, okay, this could have been better. Like I don't want to be like a sunshine popper.
I guess I'm being sunshine popper then.
Yeah,
Like,
but
okay.
they also could be the most perfect team, in my opinion.
I hope you're right, Christian. Like I hope they go win it all. Like let me be very transparent. I am Auburn through and through, diehard. I hope they go cut down some nets. Like,
yeah.
But if we're gonna do that, the effort's got to be there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna definitely. Either way, I think we're gonna figure a lot of Auburn out in this next round.
I fully agree. Like, I agree.
I think here today, actually, technically speaking.
So let's
today
get
we're gonna
to
figure out what time is that y'all's time? That's probably the same East Coast time.
7:10 our time.
Yeah, same time right here. I'm in like DMV, DC area, so
we're in Eastern time here in Lexington too. By the way, like we flip. I didn't realize Kentucky was Eastern time, but I don't spend a lot of time in Kentucky. But
yeah, I've actually surprisingly spent a decent bit of time.
Somehow we drove due north, like straight north, and it went from Central time to Eastern time. I don't know how time zones are stupid. Like
plus Travis, I saw, wasn't it like a little more than a couple hours from you? Like
it was 7 hours. Yeah.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say it was not a close drive from where you were staying.
Well, Louisville was guaranteed to have a home game against Auburn on Saturday. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
let's get to yesterday though, because
let's start.
Because we're almost 2 hours in. We haven't even talked about yesterday, but
I guess we'll start out with Baylor
today. But whatever you want to describe it as. But the first game of the day was Mississippi State Baylor, and the Bears were able to pull out a huge
win.
Huge, giant, gargantuan win over an SEC opponent. It was a huge
win. Hey, well, Matt, guess what? Travis was talking to me. He called me earlier. He was like, "Hey, this is what Travis told me. He said, my Nicaraguan, Norchid Amir, he went off in the game today."
What did you do?
Oh no! You how you called me earlier and you were like, "Hey, my Nicaraguan Norchid Amir, who plays for Baylor." Oh no! I don't know what you thought he said, but Travis was saying how he was going to go off, and sure enough, he did. He ended up securing the win against Mississippi State, And I actually saw
We might
earlier.
have to end the stream after Christian's fucking
We're gonna get sectator media banned.
enunciations. My God, I thought he said something else.
Yeah,
This is the day night.
Randy
No,
Marsh
no.
moment.
No, but apparently he has the second most all time doubles of all time.
Yes, he does.
Which that's kind of a crazy stat. I knew he was at Miami for a while, like multiple years, like at least 3 years before this year. But I didn't think the Nicaraguan could win this game against Mississippi State. I wasn't sure the Nicaraguan could. So
Matt,
I'm
did you
glad
hear
he was
your
able
girl Tracy Wolfson like early in the first half? She's like, North Shadow Spear, like she.
Yes. Like, all right, Tracy, we're over here. Stop talking to Josh Allen. Yeah. Stop talking. Yeah. Yeah. This was huge for the Bears to beat an SEC team. The Bears are now 2-1 against SEC opposition this year. That's huge news. I mean, our guy.
Who are those
Rob
wins
Wright.
against? Just refresh us real quick.
Come again?
Who are those wins against? Refresh us real quick.
Well, that just does not seem relevant to
No,
the Bears'
no.
story here. Obviously,
it does not seem relevant to the Nicaraguans that are on the team or the former
but
ones.
if you must know, they played. Tennessee was the one that just beat the brakes off of them.
Not a great team.
And but they but they beat Arkansas. That was
better team than Tennessee.
Yep, big time SEC wins. That team is continuing to play in the round of 32. So that was a huge one for the Bears. But yeah, Mississippi State. What can you say? Just across the board. Just great play here by future All-American Robert Wright from Newman-Goretti High School, from Montford Academy. They got great play, 14 out of their future lottery pick, VJ Edgecombe. Norchad, another double-double, 12 and 10. They got 15 out of Langston
We
Love.
got a Linda right here, by the way.
And they were able to slow down a big Josh Hubbard performance. Josh Hubbard had 26 for Mississippi State. So, yeah, the Bears advanced to play Duke in the second round. Should be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Juve has already told me personally he will be taking the 11.5 points that Baylor's getting against Duke here. So, yeah, we'll see.
I had Mississippi State in this game.
I did too.
I wasn't super confident in it, but I figured they beat Baylor. Baylor's not been the same team that they've had previously under Scott Drew. So they almost won, but the long stretches of no scoring, that kind of killed them down the stretch against Baylor. They did mount a comeback at the end, but Baylor took over. They had more firepower with VJ Edgecombe and the other guys previously mentioned. I haven't watched much Baylor this year, to be honest. And I didn't watch much of this game because I was at work. So,
well, you missed a barn burner that will be remembered in the annals of Baylor basketball for approximately a few more days. Yeah,
a few more days.
Yeah, just a big time one there for the Bears. Another one that was very disappointing.
All right. So, are we still talking about that fucking game, or are we just talking about how Bama got every fucking whistle against?
Oh yeah, the same. Same thing happened. I picked Robert Morris. I knew they would give Alabama a game.
Did you have Robert Morris in your bracket?
Yes, I did.
My mom did too. So you two were probably the only two in the pool.
Because I figured Alabama this whole year they've struggled with defense. We saw it. I'd previously mentioned against North Dakota. They almost got beat by North Dakota, and North Dakota is not the same team that Robert Morris is. They just had the one guy that scored 54 points or whatever, 40 points. Yeah, it was 40 points.
Grayson Eagle staff.
Eagle staff.
Who's in the portal now? So yeah.
Probably will be at Iowa next year.
Future Auburn Tiger. Correct yourself.
But yeah, Robert Morris played great. What's the one guy's name? Let me find that guy's name.
Dickerson.
Dickerson. He had a master.
Yeah.
He was going.
Am I being a homer here, or did Alabama just get every whistle late in that game?
Bro, they did. I mean, I turned it off. They just every opportunity they had, they called the whistle.
At the end of the game, Robert Morris was intentionally fouled. Robert Morris was obviously intentionally fouling, and Mark Sears still flopped.
Yeah, I turned it off after a while.
I mean,
unfortunately,
Aiden Holloway literally wrapped a guy up and brought him to the ground at one point, and they reviewed it for a flagrant, and they called it a common foul. If Chad Baker-Mazara did that, that would be a flagrant too, and that would be every discussion on every sports channel for the next fucking week. Is that Chad Baker? But Aiden Holloway did it for Alabama, so it was okay. He literally wrapped a guy up and brought him to the fucking ground, and they reviewed it for 10 minutes for a flagrant, and didn't call it a flagrant. I just want to know, when you take both of your arms and wrap it around another guy and bring that guy to the ground, is that a basketball play, or?
I mean, it's at least a little bit homosexual. You know what I mean? No offense.
Very. Yeah, no offense, but
yeah.
I will say yes. Bama got a very, very generous whistle. I do think they were still the better team, but it was very frustrating that the whistle was really just they were getting quite a bit.
I mean, Bob Morris, that's a ham school for you, Matt. I'm sure you're.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people who went there. One of my best friends there, knows Andy Toole really well, their head coach. So
you know Andy Toole really well?
No, I don't know him as well as.
Let me say you know. I was like, why hasn't he been on the podcast if you know him really well?
No, yeah, one of my friends knows him pretty well, and they
get him on the fucking show.
Yeah, that's something.
Well, yeah, we'll see if he's at Robert Morris much longer.
Penn State.
You didn't hear it from me, but tough one for them. They did. That was not the most promising Bama performance. Robert Morris had 16 offensive rebounds against them. Was not the most encouraging thing. And
St. Mary's is going to fucking.
I've
when on the boards, St. Mary's is going to do embarrassing things to them on the glass.
So, I mean, they did shoot really well. So, Bama almost shot 60% for the game and still, only won by 9. So, defensively, they need to clean up quite a bit.
Robert Morris was in drop coverage that whole fucking game and was just daring Bama to shoot it well.
I think the difference was Diabate for Alabama.
That was his best game.
Yeah,
he's been great this year.
I just wanted to mention Mark Sears, 11 of his 22 points were at the free throw line.
Shit.
I mean, dude,
that's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Honestly, Mark Sears at the end of the game flopped on an intentional foul when Alabama was up by double digits. And I was just like, do you really need to flop here? You really need to flop in that situation.
Well, he shot as many free throws as the Robert Morris team, so it's in his eyes.
I know
that one works.
I know I'm being a homer and I hate Alabama, but I'm glad you guys are at least backing me up here.
I feel this there's 2 games I feel the same way about this. We mentioned that UC San Diego. I feel the same way about this game. I just feel like the refs took over the game, controlled it. In the second half, especially, I know, any time right after Robert Morris had gotten the lead, I think there's 2 or 3 or 4 fouls called on Robert Morris. like back-breaking fouls down the stretch, and that kind of thing shifted the momentum. So it was a fun game at least. At least we got to see some good play from Robert Morris. So
it definitely was a fun game, and I agree with you, Jake. I think there was a few fouls that probably should have gone Bobby Morris's way, but I guess quite frankly they did not. So I guess they weren't
wasn't meant to be.
But I was hoping they were.
The next game was we have. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
No, I wasn't going to say anything else. I was just going to say, I mean, I think that was a good risk pick because I didn't have Alabama going that far anyway. I would have them getting beat by St. Mary's. So
yeah. The next game was Lipscomb in Iowa State. Matt gave a half an hour tirade on Sunday about how Lipscomb was going to win this game, and Lipscomb just got their fucking teeth knocked in.
I got fooled. I got fooled. This is the game.
That was a belt to ass.
This was my second worst pick of the whole bracket.
You out.
Like, I got fooled.
William Luke is retiring for the night, by the way. Do you have any departing comments you want me to add on here?
War damn.
He said war damn. So.
War damn. You heard it here first, folks.
But Iowa State Lipscomb.
Yeah, I did not pick
Matt. I need Matt because he just spent a half an hour on Sunday like saying how Lipscomb was going to win this game, and they just got their fucking.
I was very passionate about Lipscomb's opportunity to win. Lipscomb, obviously very 3-point heavy, and if they were going to hit their threes, they had a really good chance to win. They hit 8 of 28 threes, and they were horrible.
And they lost by 30.
Yes. Will Pruitt, who was on fire during the ASUN tournament, and Joe Anderson, who was like one of Lipscomb's all-time greatest players. He was 1 for 9 with 3 points, so he was horrible. Pruitt had 7 points, and Agnesavich, who is the best player in the ASUN, was the only one who looked like he belonged on the floor in that game for Lipscomb. So very, very tough going there. They did not play any defense either. They defended the rim horribly. Shout out Iowa State there. They shot almost 60%, and just the threes were not falling, and it was not Lipscomb's day. So they will definitely face more defensive resistance when they play Ole Miss, but credit to them. They definitely made very quick work of Lipscomb here.
I agree. It definitely was not Lipscomb's day. But Iowa State, like you said, is going to face a little bit more defensive power when they play Ole Miss in the next round, and even after that, they're going to keep playing obviously a lot tougher opponents. I actually do have them making my Sweet 16 against Auburn, or I guess it would be against
Marquette. Kelly Jr. Joseph or Michigan State. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have them. I've them playing Marquette in my Final Four with how it works out. But I do have them eventually beating Auburn or meeting Auburn when they play.
Did you say about beating Auburn, motherfucker?
No. I've been meeting Auburn.
Nobody's beating Auburn, you son of a bitch.
I actually don't have anyone beating Auburn. But yeah, I do have them meeting Auburn when they play. But yeah, I do see Auburn beating them when they do play ultimately. But I think Iowa State is a pretty good team. Oh, that's pretty cool. I may need one of those. How much are they?
Like $11.
Yeah, I'll cash app you for one. I definitely need one of those, one of the blue ones.
I got you. I don't drink soda, but I'll drink a soda tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Definitely sounds good.
This Iowa State team, I'm not a huge believer in, but they had an impressive win today. That's an impressive statement. I know they probably heard some of the talk about them being a potential upset pick, especially with the injury, and they just kind of rolled rolled over Lipscomb. So I guess that's all for that game. We've kind of covered Colorado State, Memphis. Do you want to talk about it more, or are we good?
Go ahead. I got to drop out for a second, but I'll be
Okay.
back.
Yeah,
Okay, we can
I
talk-
think personally, I mean, it's kind of a personal game for me because since I have a lot of Memphis family members. I mean, personally, I did not think the game was going to go how it was, especially
me too.
especially since Colorado was favored. I thought Memphis was going to play way above Colorado State's abilities in the game. Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to blow out Colorado State.
I thought PJ Haggerty was going to take over. Like,
Yeah, I thought
he did that in the American tournament, and it just didn't happen.
Well,
Yeah,
he
and
took all the shots, but didn't make any of them.
Yeah, this today, like I picked all the first like games up to Duke. We'll get to that in a minute, just to talk about a little bit about Duke. But like I got all these wrong. Like it was a crazy crazy day. All the 50-50 games I got wrong.
Not sure.
Yeah, I honestly got most of the 50-50 games wrong as well. But this was one of the bigger ones I did get wrong, honestly. Especially since a lot of my family was like heavily in tune to this one. But really, just quite frankly, not one I saw going this way. I just thought Memphis was going to overpower them in terms of physical size, in terms of coaching, in terms of shot selection, in terms of everything. But no, it didn't go that way.
What Christian? What for Memphis? They go out in the first round. They had a great season, probably Penny's best overall.
Right?
Season
Yeah, Penny's
Memphis.
best. I would say.
What is the overall like in the Memphis fan base like evaluation of the season? Penny's tenure, like what is the vibe right now?
I would say
it's his bet. Like I said, his best season, but you go out early in the first round.
Yeah, I would say one of the main things is Memphis doesn't want to get rid of Penny. Memphis wants Penny to stay here as long as Penny wants to stay here. So that's one thing. Whether they keep losing in the first round or the third round, they're going to want Penny there by their side. Because along with him, they're going to be able to recruit some of the best classes. If it's not top 5, it's top 35. You know, it's right there among with the best of them. But it's also, you know, starting to get a little pressured, a little hurried. You know what I mean? So it's how long he's been coaching there. Probably what.
I think this is his 7th year.
Yeah, I was just saying more than 6 years. So 7, 8 years. They're expecting a little sense of urgency, at least wanting a little bit of a Sweet 16 action when they win the conference. I don't know. So there are a lot of expectations. I don't know if Penny's going to be able to meet all those. Quite frankly, I think had they been able to beat Colorado State, I think they would have beat Memphis in the round coming up. But that's not. Or sorry, not Memphis. I thought they were going to beat Maryland in the game coming up, but they're not even going to get to play Maryland. So I don't think that's even that's not even a discussion. So I think a lot of the talk is just going to have to come next year. I think that's all there is to it, honestly.
All right. Well, which one do we have next?
The next game, I mean, we don't have to really talk about this one, but Duke destroys Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, they beat them, didn't they?
They beat them.
I mean,
they beat them. They beat them.
The 16 seed games today were just not even close. Like, even the 16 seed wasn't even in the games.
All the 16s, 15s, 14s, 13s, they all got their ass beat.
The next game after that one, St. Mary's Vanderbilt.
What a comeback!
That was St. Mary's grinded that one out.
I did not think St. Mary's, the way the tempo they play, how their offense is. I did not think St. Mary's had it in them to make a comeback of that level. But credit to them, they rallied in this one like they needed to. They got the stops they needed, but with the tempo that St. Mary's plays at, like I when they were down 10, I thought they were screwed. But
Yeah, I did too. I was like,
they're like,
I started to get worried because I have St. Mary's in the Elite Eight, so I was like, oh shit, might be my last chance at the bracket. And then they came back, and I was like, I was starting to sweat that one out. But St. Mary's closed out good, and what a disaster final possession for Vanderbilt.
oh my god, yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
bad.
when they
That
got
was
trapped
bad.
in the corner there, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just could not get the ball out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a disaster.
That's tough. When it's 39-27 for Vanderbilt, you're thinking they should pull that out with, 15 minutes. But, credit St. Mary's. They were methodical in everything they did and just completely slammed the door defensively there. So, yeah, despite that, Vanderbilt still did have a chance to win. But, it was, really tough for Vanderbilt to watch that one slip from them there. But I know people are probably very high and popular on St. Mary's to beat Bama. I am not just yet here.
I am.
I am not quite there yet. So I did not think they still need to, shoot dramatically better than what they did probably. And they cannot beat Bama with 59. So they're probably going to have to give up a bit of what they do in the tempo side to trade that in for more points on the other end. So,
and St. Mary's likes to really slow a game down, and it's and play physical, and it's going to kind of depend on what kind of whistle. Look, I'm not just saying that as a Bama hater, but like what whistle the refs are giving is going to make a real difference in that St. Mary's Bama game.
Yeah, I think St. Mary's probably feels like if they can get to maybe 75 points, that should be enough for them. But it is a very it's tough. I mean, Gonzaga beat them playing St. Mary's style, and Bama has the offensive talent that if the game did get bogged down, it would not throw off very much for them still. And St. Mary's, just the guards for Bama is what St. Mary's probably. I do think the St. Mary's front court is pretty well prepared and they rebound really well, obviously, as we've talked about. But yeah, the St. Mary's guards, that's going to be the biggest challenge on their hands is how they defend those guards. And if they do get up and down on them, that's a pretty dangerous situation for them. They're probably not stopping many of those possessions there. And then, St. Mary's is not a particularly really deep team. So if Sears is shooting 15 free throws and getting guys into foul trouble, that could be a problem as well. So
I was going to say St. Mary's can't get into foul trouble like they did today against Vanderbilt. Marshallonis almost fouled out with quite a bit of time left in the game, but he somehow pulled it off. That was a great performance there at the end of the game to not get his fifth foul. Very smart play there. So, the next game we have is Ole Miss in North Carolina. Ole Miss just took care of business.
That they did. There was not much. I mean, finally, they should have run away with that at halftime. It seemed like they were cruising towards a 30-point win.
I agree.
Hey,
I agree with you.
We were joking on here. Christian too. He used to work at a hotel, so he knows. Is it weird? We get to the hotel yesterday, and like the guy at the front desk, like they give you the little pouch they put the keys in, and like he takes the pouch, big fat motherfucker, and he goes, It like blows in the thing. Is that really necessary? Like, we have been joking about it. I've never seen that in my life. You just like little pouch. You get, like just aggressive as fuck. Like blows on the segment. Christian,
That's
do you ever
funny.
blow in one of those pouches?
No. I worked in the hotel industry for about 5 months. Never did I once do that ever, ever. Even if
Sorry
someone
to-
asked me, even if someone asked me to do that, I would never have done that.
I know I'm being a dumb fuck tonight, derailing the segment. I had to mention that.
Oh no, you're good. I was
You're
glad
good.
you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because if one of my friends would work the hotel, I would want to know if they had done that as well. Honestly.
I mean, he fucking like. I mean, he gave his hawk to her in this.
There he goes. Yeah, no, I didn't quite do that when I worked at hotels. never did anything like that.
Is the pouch still up here? Hold on.
Hmm.
Yeah, here it is. No, it's a tag for sure. Keep talking about basketball, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
a fucking
gonna-
idiot. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that-
I'm on bullshit tonight.
Yeah.
I apologize.
My like ADHD is like it's all over the place. I'm like,
Ole Miss is going to. I feel very good about their chances to beat Iowa State, but the size they don't have a ton of size, and thankfully for them, Carolina did not do really anything to exploit that. But yeah, it did get a little rough in the second half there. I was getting really nervous because I just could not handle the North Carolina discussion continuing any further. I'm glad that we do not have to talk about them the rest of the tournament.
Well, Jacob wanted to talk about them. I robbed this moment.
No, I was gonna say I was trying to set it up for them losing today, but I'm glad they lost today, so the committee doesn't get to congratulate themselves over a job well done.
Yeah,
the
Sorry,
discussion
Bubba.
was like, I was told they shouldn't be in the tournament. Like,
Hey, fuck them. Fuck them.
Because that makes a difference.
Yes, my least favorite part of the first weekend of the tournament was not necessarily that because all the people have the people who have perfect brackets who don't watch or anything, and then there are those people I thought you said North Carolina didn't deserve to be in. I thought you said they weren't very good, and they
My friend Noah was trying
San
to do
Diego
that to me
State.
earlier.
Yeah. What do you know? Yeah. So that was miserable. So I'm glad I do not have to hear that kind of stuff the rest of the time here. So yeah.
But Sean
what you were
Padula,
saying is
ice
backed
in
up
his
by the
veins.
fact that Hunter Sloan is just knocking down our bracket pool.
Yeah.
It's I knew it. I saw it coming since January. Yeah.
We got next.
I do know one more thing about that game. Sean Padula, ice in his veins.
Love him. Yeah, he's great.
And but that's the last thing I want to say about that game. Bye, North Carolina. Next game we have
Rupp Arena is named after a guy named Adolf.
Yeah.
Different spelling, but yes.
He was also a racist.
Good basketball coach, but not the greatest moral compass, it seems.
Yeah.
Elon's big fan of him.
The next game, Maryland versus Grand Canyon. Maryland took care of business. Maryland
beat the fucking brakes off of them.
Maryland is a scary
five.
team. They are a scary team right now.
The Crab Five took care of business. Sorry. And I do think they're going to take care of business next round. Honestly, I have no reason to not think they're going to take care of business. I think honestly, I just feel like they're going to keep rolling.
Where are you at, Christian? Show us that beautiful face.
One second. I'm going to show us.
Yeah, there
I'm
you
right here. Right here.
There it is.
I'm right in the
First of
Sweet
all,
16.
very,
Let's go.
very tough day for Grand Canyon basketball.
It is.
You know, men's team gets crushed, and then their women's team gets, they get eliminated as well.
I'm a big fan of Grand Canyon's women's team.
Yeah,
I am too.
Now,
After they showed me what they looked like,
Great
I'm a
program.
fan.
now a
Great
fan of
program.
I love
Arizona
Grand Canyon's
State,
women's team.
which fits. Arizona State fits.
Yeah, so Grand Canyon basically had like Ty and Grant Foster and intramural kids, it seemed, when they were playing Maryland. So yeah, tough times there.
Their women's team though, they're coached really well.
Fundamentally, they're fundamentally sound in terms of women's basketball.
Yeah.
So, but no. I think Maryland's going to beat Colorado State by 50.
I think Maryland's going to beat Florida.
Yeah,
I'm sticking by my pick.
Nah, I don't know about
I
that.
think so. I hope so as well. My
Florida
brother's
didn't
hoping
cover
thinking as
today,
well.
and I was told yesterday, cover madness is all that matters.
Yeah, I think Maryland probably could beat basically every. I think potentially they could beat every team.
Did you guys know that Florida only won by 26 today?
No way.
That is not a cover.
No way.
Yeah, Norfolk State advanced.
They're going on the next round.
Spread madness.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Talk about I'm still confident in my prediction. Florida's going to go to the championship.
Yeah, I could see it.
They're going to win the championship.
Fuck you.
I can see it.
That guard, that offense, man, that's insane. Like,
fuck you.
They just coasted out immediately and just ran the whole way. But yeah, I saw like the meme. Whoever has to play, or Norfolk State playing Florida, and it was Patrick walking into the Krusty Krab, just getting eviscerated.
Did you guys think? And I said it earlier this week, and I was talking to him about it, William Legal about it a lot on the drive up. That Florida they're in the toughest region in this tournament. Todd Golden has never won a tournament game, and everybody all week has just been crowning them the national champions. It felt a little premature to me.
I was going to mention that Maryland-Florida game. That's going to be insane. That's going to be one of the best games of the year. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch.
Assuming Maryland gets past Colorado State, which I think they will.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But I also assumed that Memphis would have gotten past Colorado State to meet Maryland in it. So you never know.
Wrong, bitch.
Yeah. I've been wrong a couple times. I'm not even gonna lie.
We got a wrong motherfucker in the top right here.
But
we've all been wrong on games.
I don't know. I feel
I'm
like
never wrong. I never lost.
Yeah, out of all the
my
time,
foot.
I never lie.
I don't know. I kind of feel like Maryland is actually going to blow out Colorado State in the next round. I think they'll have some momentum going into when they do play Florida, but there's going to be there's some time between now and when they actually play Florida. So
I got my ass beat on overs today. By the way, that was one I had the over in. Overs were not nice to me today.
Yeah, because they took out a lot of Maryland's players when there was still a lot of time left. So
yeah.
Overs
fucking kicked my teeth in today. I don't know what kind of betting days you guys had, but yeah, overs were not kind to me today.
Yeah, it seems like most of the bets with Maryland didn't go through since they already had a pretty good lead. I tried to warn a lot of people about that, which you all just stay cautious about that for when they play Colorado State, because say they jump out to a 30-point lead in the first half or at the first half, then they're not going to be playing Derek Queen exactly a ton in the second half or some of those guys in the second half. So that's one of the main things I would warn if you're trying to bet on Maryland is some of those.
I'm going to read off some of the games tonight. They were blowouts next, and then if anyone wants to say anything about them, you can. Kentucky beat Troy. It was close in the first half, but Kentucky just rolled.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on that.
Yeah,
Matt's
not much to
pissed.
say.
Matt's
Matt.
pissed.
Matt, tell him.
He's hiding his internal anger. He wanted
Very,
to
very
act.
tough. Yeah. Hey, but Cal's still playing, so everyone wins.
He wanted so bad. He wanted nothing more than to come on here and be like, "Oh, Cal's still playing and Kentucky's not." Like,
Mhm.
The next one, Arizona destroyed Akron. I think everyone saw that coming. Akron.
another over. I just got my ass kicked on, like, because that did not hit.
The Michigan State Bryant game. Michigan State Bryant led in the first half for a little bit, and then Michigan State just took over. Richardson, I think he had a great game. Maybe, I think he played good.
It was Carr mostly who was.
Carr. Oh yeah, I saw him score some because we started streaming.
What you're going on? What you're like? These games are reading off is like no 13 seeds and below. None of them won.
Yeah.
In this tournament. And it's everybody was saying coming in, this is going to be a chalky tournament.
Yeah.
And obviously we can still see some upsets going forward, but like none of these, like we didn't see any of these like insane upsets that we've seen.
There's a couple close calls, but it was a chalk tournament. I think everyone kind of had that. And then, of course, Oregon blew out Liberty. I picked that one. I didn't think Liberty was going to do much.
That was teeth fucking thrashing right there.
Yeah, I picked Oregon as well. I
mean, Jacob makes a joke about Wofford not being a real school, like Liberty and Grand Canyon. Yeah. That's a bad day for not. Those are the true not.
Those are Colts. Those are Colts. Dude, my brother and so many other people not named my brother have told me so many experiences of them getting ads from Grand Canyon University, especially when they're about to play Maryland. It's just like a Colt school. It's not exactly a real school.
Yeah.
But when they play a big school, they'll bring a bunch of fans there. High
Point did that to the Purdue High Point game. They paid for their whole team to go to. They're talking about
Grand Canyon Maryland game. They kept that one girl. She wasn't bad looking. They kept fucking zooming in on her.
I'm sure Grand Canyon has some cuties, being right near Phoenix.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure.
Like,
I'm sure.
Get the Arizona State runoff.
Who just?
Oh no! Exactly.
Was that
exactly.
you, Christian?
It was. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, sir.
And then, of course, Illinois beat Xavier. It was close for a little bit, and then Illinois just took over.
Illinois kicked the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I had Xavier +4. Another.
I
had a bad bet night. I had a good first round until tonight, and then it all went off the rails.
Illinois is favored against Kentucky, -1.5.
Wow.
I mean,
taking
really?
Kentucky.
Hey, I picked Illinois over Kentucky. I know I'm an
Illinois and
hater.
Kentucky. What are those are two teams you just don't know what the fuck you're gonna get from either of those teams.
I'm an Illinois hater, but they're hot coming into the tournament. Their guard play has been pretty good here recently, so
they got over the mono.
Yeah. And then the closest games of the night, New Mexico Marquette. I'm pleased to say New Mexico looked great in that game. They just Nelly Jr. Joseph dominated. Dent played good. I had this the whole way. The Mountain West disappointed, but New Mexico lived up to the hype. So
yeah, I think you all tried to warn me against picking Marquette, which I was still fully set on picking Marquette, but
I picked Marquette.
Obviously they didn't get the job done.
Marquette is one of the weirdest team to me. They have all the talent there, they just don't.
They have a coach that can't win in the tournament.
Yeah. Ever since his first run or whatever.
Matt, can we get one more Nelly Jr. Joseph before they get run off the floor by Michigan State? Can we get one more spiel?
Oh well, yeah. Now, or do you want me to give it to you when it's happening?
I mean, they're gonna get beat the shit out of them by
Michigan State's
State,
minus
but-
6.5. I'll have to see what Nelly Jr. Joseph is.
Can we get a Gus Johnson preview of that game?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That dick-headed school, Michigan. Their little brother lining up against Nelly Jr. Joseph and the
Nelly
boys.
Jr.
Let's see if they allow New Mexico and Nelly Jr. Joseph to stand at half court for this one.
Thank you for that.
Not
Thank you,
okay,
man.
Joel. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
One
man.
of my favorite bits from the show this year is that.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Of course.
And then we have one more game. Of course, it's Matt's hour to talk.
Yeah.
UConn.
We waited too long.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah. I think
this is
so.
the final
I think so.
cap. I think we picked the
We're
perfect way to
2.5
end it.
hours in, and Matt has not talked about his team winning yet.
Yeah.
Hey, all good. This was not a it was not a great basketball game to watch. It was basically, Fears carrying Oklahoma as long as he could. The free throw line was Oklahoma's biggest weapon, as most of their points were scored there. They shot horribly. They were 17% from three. They were 32% from the field. They made nothing. Free throws were the only things they had, and Fears. So it's tough one there for Oklahoma, but UConn got really good game from Terrace Reed. Got a really good game from Solo Ball. Alex Caravan made some big shots. But yeah, Lee McNeely really struggled. 2 for 13, 8 points. Pretty rough one out of him. Sandiar, same thing, 4 points on 6 shots. That is not going to cut it against Florida. So, Dan gets another tournament win. I do not think they match up well on paper with Florida. That does not mean that they are going to compete with them, because they are significantly deeper, and just going to be like, they should have no real issue on. Although UConn's defense was really good tonight. I do not have the highest expectations against Florida. Florida's minus 9.5 against them. Florida's defense was not great today. They did not defend Norfolk State awesome. But doesn't really matter when you score that many points. So it's a tournament win for UConn. Extended their win streak another game. But yeah, they are going to need a just seismic defensive effort to beat that Florida team on Sunday. So, hope that happens for their sake there. I think Florida will beat them. I picked Florida to beat them. But yeah, hope UConn wins. So that'd be huge. So hoping UConn wins. But yeah, and the other, I kind of watching that game, watching Porter Moser. Not sure how much longer Porter Moser is going to be the coach at Oklahoma. It just kind of seems.
Neither do I.
I don't know if that's running sports there or what.
I've had a weird feeling all week, and I'm just curious how you guys feel. Like, everybody is just putting Florida in the national championship, having them win the national championship, crowning Florida the way they are. And when you take a guy like Todd Golden, who just won his first tournament game today against Norfolk State, and now he gets to go against the back-to-back national champion Dan Hurley. Obviously, Florida's been the better team than UConn all year, but do you guys put any validity into that coaching, just the tournament experience coaching battle we have there, where I feel like there's a very real chance we're sitting here Sunday night talking about Dan Hurley just pulling the rabbit out of his hat and winning that game?
I don't know. Just like the teams involved, if this was a slightly better UConn team, I would say yes. And Florida, just the way they been playing is just off the charts, But I mean, coaching does matter in the tournament. That's a good point. I know Florida. I was kind of thinking that in the back of my head. What if they got picked off early? I mean, I picked them just because I think they're the best team. I think they're like UConn last year. Just great guard play, deep. That's all the things that make a national champion. But I mean, there's always the chance Florida gets the deer in the headlights look against a team that's plays good defense, and they just kind of fall up because they did lose to that Tennessee team after they beat them. They had one of the worst performances against Tennessee earlier in the season. So I could see that, Travis. I could see that.
Yeah, the good news for UConn, I think Todd Golden's a great coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country, and I don't consider his coaching necessarily a disadvantage. I think it definitely is advantage UConn in this game and coaching. But yeah, the good news for Florida, they seem to have struggled with not necessarily the Tennessee types as much as the teams that can score with them. Which
Shit, not the
UConn,
Tennessee types. Tennessee beat them.
they did, yeah, but
Right,
they also flattened Tennessee by 30.
Yeah, that was the weirdest two games I
So
think I've
yeah,
seen.
I mean they beat Tennessee by 30. So it's I can't really say that they struggle per se with that, but yeah, I think UConn can score with Florida. I just don't know if when it's time for them to get a stop. It's been a struggle. Now UConn's been really good about that in the second half of the season. But yeah, when it comes down to them getting enough stops, and if they were in foul trouble, how they were tonight, the Florida's depth of bigs they don't run out, and there's no weakness on their team. There's no holes on the roster. There's no weakness on the team. So it will be the best team UConn's seen this year by a super comfortable margin. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think they're going to have to hold Florida to around mid 70s, 80 points kind of thing. I think you're basically asking the same thing of St. Mary's with Bama. It's just you have to beat them doing something you're really not comfortable doing. So yeah, I mean they could. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I do think, I think that's definitely more likely. You might be able to say than Creighton beating Auburn or Baylor beating Duke. But yeah, it's an outcome that wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if UConn won, and I wouldn't be surprised if Florida beat them by 10 to 15. So yeah, it's one of those games that I think if Florida's going to win a national championship, they will have to go through this type of team to do it. And yeah, I think it's a really tough matchup for them. But all in all, Florida's a better team. They should win. There's really, no reason in their minds, I would imagine, that they should struggle. And yeah, so again, hope UConn wins, but they are going to need to score in the 80s, and they are definitely going to need to, do a better job of guarding than they've done most of the season. They did a really good job tonight. Oklahoma was pretty fears centric, so Florida's just just a completely different challenge. So we'll see. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully UConn beats them. So we'll see.
Well, I think that about does it for first round.
I think that covers it. I was going to read off the games tomorrow and Sunday, and you can pick.
By the way,
best ones.
Before you do that, I was gonna say if we do any previewing here, I'd prefer to do a show tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to get too deep into.
We could do Saturday. We can do just
Sunday.
Saturday. Yeah,
I mean, you can read off Sunday's games.
Yeah, I was just gonna read them all.
Previews, but
I was just gonna say pick the best games to watch tomorrow at least.
Minus one.
First one, we have McNeese Purdue. Second, you have Arkansas St. John's, the rivalry right there. I'm sure that'll be primetime television. Well, it's at 2:00, but primetime television.
It should be. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know.
I can't believe we got the late games here. I figured we were going to be early.
Michigan, Texas A&M at 5. You have Drake, Texas Tech at 6. Drake, one of the few underdog teams left. Creighton, Auburn at 7, prime time. That'll be a fun one, of course. BYU, Wisconsin. That'll be a firepower game. Honestly, that's probably low-key one of the better ones of the day.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, Houston, going to be an awesome game. I think all these are going to be great games.
I think so. I think so also, brother.
It's like we had a chalky first 2 days, and that sets up for some great matchups.
I was thinking about how great the round of 32 and like Sweet 16 games are going to be, and I'm like, gosh dang, these are going to be fun to watch, man.
Absolutely.
The casuals are going to be like, we didn't get any upsets, but like the people who actually like college basketball are going to be like, yeah, we got some fucking awesome matchups now.
I mean, it's a like a red pill, blue pill type of situation.
Yeah, that's all it can be there.
Yeah. I will tell you right now. I think BYU is going to be.
Matt died.
He's frozen.
Matt died.
You can give him a second to see if he figures it out there. But he's frozen for now.
I mean, I can read off Sunday's games too. You have Florida, UConn, Duke, Baylor, Kentucky, Illinois, St. Mary's, Alabama, Colorado State, Maryland, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Michigan State, New Mexico, Oregon, Arizona. I think
lost you for a second, Matt.
Yeah, I know. They cut me off because I was giving out free money. But yeah, already have guaranteed Gonzaga winning and Arkansas winning. So I will guarantee BYU winning. And yeah, those are about the only like hot takes I would say there.
I'm so shocked you're not in here. Like Creighton's gonna beat the shit out of Auburn.
No, I think Creighton will play them like within 8 points maybe, but I don't think it's like I don't know. Auburn, it would have to be like a repeat of what they had against Alabama State, and Creighton would just need to continue shooting out of their minds. So
that Tennessee UCLA game tomorrow, it's going to be a grinder.
That is going to be a grinder. Yeah, I would say Tennessee wins that closely.
Hey, I yelled at the end of the game yesterday. So I doubt you guys were watching at this point. Like, don't blame you, but Mick Cronin challenged a out of bounds call up 21 under 2 minutes in the game. I was just like, you're up 21, Mick. Was this really necessary?
He must have really wanted the ball.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't like Mick Cronin. I hope Tennessee hands it to him tomorrow.
It's so like I hate that whole region there. Like all those teams I despise. Like we were talking about on Sunday. I was like, you got Illinois and Tennessee, UCLA, Wofford all together.
That was the Jacob region.
The most exciting game potential probably I would assume would be A&M Michigan, because Michigan always somehow finds themselves in these ridiculously like close games with teams they have no business being in close games with. So yeah, this one fits the bill. For that one will be very close. Buzz Williams will be sweating through his clothing and will be sprinting to half court to call timeouts.
He's gonna fall down on the deck like Americans coach did.
He will be in a defensive stance, and yeah, it will be must-see TV. Yeah, really good day of games. I don't think there's going to be a bad game on there, really.
I was gonna say, so to end, like, last discussion point before we with us four as like big college basketball fans are the general casual consensus is going to be like, oh, this tournament sucks. We haven't had the upsets. Are you guys, as hardcore college basketball fans, are you upset that we haven't seen the upsets? No pun intended, that we typically see. Or are you guys happy that, like, okay, we haven't seen the upsets, but that sets up for some great matchups in these games going forward?
I think it's just
Yeah.
for great matchups.
The thing about it is, like, like all the underdogs, they kind of got matched up in bad games for that, other than Drake and McNeese. The rest of those seeds around that region, they're kind of like, we're in bad matchups. Casuals, like, the games were actually good. Like, most of the games are close outside of like the 1-16 seeds and like 2-15, other than Robert Morris and Alabama. But like, the games are competitive. It's been fun ball the past 2 days. So the first, and plus it sets up for the later rounds, like you said. So I think this is going to be a great tournament, regardless.
Yeah, the upsets are really fun when they happen, and it's just kind of one of those, like, oh, where were you when this happened type thing, and all of the fans think it's great that they all remember and where they were when Furman beat Virginia and how great of a game that was, and the shots of Stan Van Gundy and Kevin Harlan going crazy. So I do think those games provide like really great moments, like really memorable moments that they'll like fill up the one shining moment montage with and everything. But yes, it is good for the tournament to have good games, especially as the tournament progresses. The 2011 tournament was one of my favorites. But I know for some people, they were like, what am I getting out of a Butler VCU Final Four matchup here? Like, what is this really? Like, I was huge on that, but some other people might not.
I mean,
have
it's
been
the same a couple years ago. We got the FAU San Diego State.
I love that. I love that.
So big fan of that.
But we're not getting that this year. We're going to get
unless Drake.
We're going to get the really good teams.
So then, and then you have the 2015 tournament where you have Kentucky, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Duke, and
2008 was all 4-1
2008. Those final those Final Four matchups weren't particularly close, but the national championships were great. So yeah, I mean, it's good basketball, which is what I think hopefully everybody wants at the end of the day. But yeah, it's would I rather see BYU play Wisconsin than Montana? Yes. Like, I think that is good, and yeah, I think it's better that those are the matchups than some of these other ones, like Grand Canyon versus Colorado State might not be as good of a game as seeing Maryland in there type thing. So yeah, I think it's overall a good balance of both is good. But yeah, I certainly won't complain about good basketball games being on.
Christian, you got anything else before we wrap it up?
No, not necessarily. I feel like we covered a lot of ground. To be honest, I feel like we definitely covered a lot of ground on this podcast. So,
all right.
But I definitely am excited for this next weekend.
For sure.
I'm excited for these next games coming up.
I'm going to pencil in a show tomorrow night, and we'll see how it goes. But I will shoot for that, and we'll see what happens with everybody and their teams tomorrow. Obviously, me and Jacob have our teams playing tomorrow, so we'll see what goes on. And But yeah, I'm gonna pencil in a show tomorrow night, and if not, then we'll recap the whole second round on Sunday. But hopefully a show. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. It's almost 3 a.m. on the East, so we'll wrap this thing up. But thank you if you're tuning in. Like, subscribe, Secretary to Media on YouTube. Thank you, Left Turn Cold on Twitter for letting us stream on there as always. Follow us, One Shot and Recap, and we appreciate everybody. But yeah, it's March, baby. We love this shit. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you everybody for tuning in. And
Happy March.
And more damn Eagle, baby.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, yo.
Have a good night.